Welcome everybody to the Good Movies Podcast. Coming to you every Thursday evening as usual. With us always is Katie, Mike, and Kenny.
Hello.
Hello.
I guess this week, so we really never have a subject matter, but this week I was wanting to talk a little bit about. And my camera's freaking low. I don't know why it's so low. I'm like down here underneath everything. But uh, I wanted to talk about connected universes. I was kind of wanting to talk more. It's kind of confusing to make it into a title, but I want to do like, connected universes in movies and connected universes in like television. And for me, it's really just talking about two different people in television for me personally. But I thought it'd be a good subject matter for everybody to talk about. But for I don't know where to get going. I didn't pull my movies for it, but my television shows for it. But the one that I've been watching recently that I watched back in the day when it was on was I call it the Greg Garcia universe. My Name is Earl and
Oh, yeah.
Raising Hope.
Yep.
And those two shows both exist in the same universe. After recently, I just picked up the last 3 seasons of My Name is Hope, and I've been watching through, and I had to make sure that it was a connected universe because all of the actors from My Name is Earl show up and have, except for Jason Lee and Jamie Presley, the others have a decent amount of reoccurring parts in there.
Yeah,
Now, I think,
Jason Lee was in the show, but he played a balding rock star.
yeah, I think he may show up maybe once a season, and Ethan Suplee kind of shows up a few times a season, and I can't think the guy plays Crabman, and I apologize. We got going here, and I didn't bring up everything on here. I don't know all the actors' name, but they're all the main actors in it show up. I think Nadine Valquez, I think she only shows up maybe once, maybe twice. But they had one episode in the last, I think it's in season 3. They did have one episode where they were basically playing their own characters with different names because Jason Lee, what's his character's name in? Not Earl, but what's a rock and roller called? What's his name? It's a funny name, but regardless, he ends up something happens to him, and he ends up making a list of people he's done wrong. He has to make better. That's the whole concept of My Name is Earl. He's figures he's kind of wrong karma, so he wants to make up for and make his karma change, and he has to go around apologizing to all the people he's done bad things to, and that's kind of the whole concept of the show. But he does that in Raising Hope. But but the first season you don't really know. You don't know it's a connected universe. There's like I think there's only one tie-in at the very end of the season, and it's actually ties back. We were talking a little bit about Burt Reynolds early. Burt Reynolds has I think he only's in one episode, but he's like, there's a whole chain he owns like a whole chain of different things. It's like it's under Chubby's. He owns like Club Chubby, which is a strip club, and he has like Chubby's Barbecue. Everything he owns is named after himself, and there's like a Chubby's Burgers bag in like this basement they get tied up in My Name is Hope. There's like this Chubby's burger, the bag, and I was like, that's the first hint of it in the first season, and then it gets more into it, and then they start talking about like one of the Patty, the daytime hooker from My Name is Earl. She shows up in one. I think she shows up in the same episode, and she's she's playing her character from, and she said, "Oh, I'm from a couple of counties over, which is the same county that exists in My Name is Earl." So the Camden County, and they're in Natesville, and so I know I'm not doing a great job explaining this. It's just interesting to me the way they try to tie it in. But the one thing, somewhat, I know it's a connected universe. That's not the problem. But I've wanted to figure out where is Natesville and where is Camden? Where do they exist at? Where are they supposed to exist at?
Mhm.
I mean, it has to be outside California because My Name is Earl. There's obviously palm trees in the background of like the hotel they live at. But if you look up through Google, it'll say like Virginia or North Carolina or something like that because the Greg Garcia is from there. But
Mhm.
it don't make any sense because because like I was saying, there's palm trees in My Name is Earl, but there's another scene where Virginia and what's the husband's name? I'm sorry, right off the top of my head. Bert. And Bert are talking, and they're watching. I think they're watching like the L.A. riots from the '90s. It's like a flashback scene. They say, "Yeah, we ought to drive down to L.A. and steal a TV, get a TV, get a new TV." And so they have to be within driving distance of L.A. But then there's another scene where there's another time where they're going to go to L.A. to see like there's a kid that they used to work in the grocery store who's like now he's in a TV show, so they're going to go down there and see him. And they first are going to fly, and then next they end up just going on a road trip. So it's confusing, because it doesn't seem like a cross country road trip. It just seems like a few hours or something. You don't really know. So I don't know if they're really supposed to be at an exact location for My Name is Earl.
Mhm. Yeah, maybe it's just a made up place,
Yeah. Well, I'm sure the Camden County and Natesville are 100% made up, but it's just I just find it fascinating trying to figure stupid stuff like that out. And my next question to you guys is, both of those are 4 seasons each, and a lot of shows end up, falling short or only having 3 or 4 seasons. Even though I think four seasons is pretty successful, because if you look back through the history of television, a lot of even classics are in that range. 4, maybe 5 to 6 seasons. Is that enough? Is that enough episodes for people? I mean, I'm not talking just about these 2 shows, but other television shows. Is that enough do you think that's enough seasons? Do you think more seasons would have been more catastrophic and you would have got really, you'd eventually worked yourself into bad writing and bad seasons?
Mm-hmm.
You think when
Yeah,
they ended is at the right time?
Yeah, probably like a handful of seasons would probably be.
Yeah.
Depends on the show for me. I mean, like, look at Supernatural. It went on for 15 seasons, and it was actually Jared Padalecki who wanted to end the show because they could have kept going, and the fan base was there. I was there. I mean, granted, I've only seen up to either 12 or 13, so I haven't finished the last 2 to 3 seasons yet. I have them all, and I've watched, especially like the first 6 seasons, multiple times. And I still can't get enough of it. It's one of my all-time favorite shows. But I don't know. Some of the seasons are actually hit or miss with me. Like when, I don't know if you've seen the show.
Oh yeah,
Supernatural. I've never watched it myself.
You haven't?
No.
Okay. Do you mind if I say some stuff about a couple?
Don't worry about it.
I'm up to like the 7th or 8th season. That's as
Kenny,
far
what
as
about you?
I've never seen the show.
Do you mind if I say a couple of things?
Oh no, go right ahead, hon. Go ahead.
Okay.
Doing that might make me want to watch it more so. It's not how much I didn't want to watch it in the first place. It's just one of those things I didn't watch.
Yeah, it's pretty good, man. It's especially the first couple seasons are really, really good. Then it changes.
Yeah, it really does. Like from season to season, it goes like over a whole new kind of plot. So it doesn't really stay the same. I mean, like the connection, like seriously, the whole thing that sucks you in is the connection. There is a real like family love, brotherly love connection between Jared and Jensen. You know, their characters are Sam and Dean, and you can feel it though. If it wasn't the chemistry between them, the whole thing would have fallen apart a long time ago. But they are so good together in that show. But like the whole story part changes from season to season. The only one season that kind of I really absolutely hated was when Sam was drinking the whole demon blood thing. I hated that. So I'm glad that was kind of earlier on though, and then it kind of that part went away. But that I really did not like that part. But yeah, so I don't know. It really depends on the show, and it depends on, you know, just the story on how long is like too long or too short. I don't know. It depends, because it could have kept going. You know, it was Jared, the actor, who decided like, no, I want to do something else.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Yeah, they started that was that prequel, The Winchesters, and it didn't do very good, did it?
Yeah, and Jensen was a part of that because he wanted to keep going, because Jared went on to do Dallas, or no, Walker, Texas Ranger. Yeah. He redid that, and I think that only lasted one season or something, or I don't know if it got renewed.
I don't think it did. Like neither one of the spin-off or that show did very good. So I think they're getting back together. I heard the rumor that they're going to restart it or something. I heard that somewhere.
Yeah, I heard something like that too, because I think Jared realized he made a mistake, because he was trying to do other stuff, and because Jensen also went on to The Boys. He did the 3rd season of The Boys. I don't know if he went on to do any more with The Boys or not, but I know The Boys is doing like a 4th season or something too, so that he's being successful. But I don't think Jared, with his whatever he's doing, he's not being successful. So
yeah,
he realized he made a mistake.
Yeah, they could do that show for the rest of their lives. They got such a huge fan base, and like they have those conventions, and they're like $800 a ticket or something. My wife's really into the show more than me, and she wanted to go to that one year. I'm just like,
yeah, no,
I don't know. That's pretty expensive. It's kind of steep there.
Yeah, no, that's too much. But I mean, it's a one in a lifetime opportunity. If I could go, I would, because I mean, Jensen and Jared are both also from Texas. I'm in Texas, so that would be like one of the only real possibilities I could probably have, would be that out of most opportunities. But
yeah, I think they could just do that show forever. Probably, you know, they're in their 40s. They could do it for another 20 years easily. You know, as long as they have like good writing and direction, and you know, it doesn't get stale, like John was talking about earlier. Then, I mean, like Gunsmoke, that's a show, show I'm watching. It went for 20 years easily. Yeah. So, you know.
Some shows really can hold that kind of, because they're fans, man. Die hard.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, Sydney? Thanks for joining us this evening. Warning, do not see The Crow 2024. That movie sucks. Everyone on YouTube is crapping on it. Movie movie should not have been made, period.
I don't think so. I'm not a big fan of it being remade either. It's just that was Brandon Lee's like thing. You know what I mean? Kind of like how Bruce Lee's famous for Enter the Dragon or something. That's just kind of his movie, and he died on set.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, how could you be that disrespectful? I mean, I get that no matter what, that wasn't like the intention of the comic book or whatever. It wasn't like exact or whatever. But I mean, he literally died making that movie.
Yeah.
That is like, that just should not have been touched. Like, you could have done something similar and just called it something else or something. But I mean, just And I love Bill Skarsgård. He did amazing in the remake of it. Like, I still love the original, but I love the remake too because it is far more creepy. Like, the original was more kind of on the funny side, I think, and the remake was so much more creepy the way he played it. And I love them both, but it's just The Crow that's so different because he died making it.
Mhm.
Like,
yeah, it's like they see that it's such a cult hit and everybody's kind of getting back into it. They feel like they have to remake it for some reason. It's like, why? Just write something to go with it. Make it part 2 or part 3 or just a prequel or something. But just don't try to remake it and make it. But,
yeah, I'd have to agree, Sydney.
yeah.
It's just I don't understand the lack of creativity.
Yeah.
Well, I do understand why, but I don't want to go into it. I don't want to get into politics. But
it's more than politics. I think it's just I don't know. There's a lot of reasons.
Yeah, it is. But it's
with
just,
how many people we have in the world, it's just insane that like we have. I mean, maybe because those were, I don't know. I just don't get how there's no new ideas. Like, I don't get it. Like, look what A24 is doing.
Mm-hmm.
How is mainstream Hollywood just rehashing the same shit?
Well, there is, but they're not getting hired. I don't think their voices aren't being heard.
Well, I saw an interview where it said like there are good movies being made. They're just not the big blockbusters, and they're just not advertised as long, and they're not in the theater very long. And those are the good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've talked about this before, but I think it's a talent distribution problem now because you got all the streaming services and you got so many different places for writers that are needed. So you might have, instead of having fewer entertainment companies or people making movies where the talent could be more concentrated, and you could have writing teams or a group of writers writing movies. Now you're getting like maybe one good writer on a project, and the rest are just beginners. And there's such a need that there's a lot of people who are basically necessarily like right out of college, not really, like it's not necessarily what it is, but amateur writers is what I'm getting at. People that don't really doesn't have the experience to do it.
Or they want to write like everybody else has been writing for the past 5 years or something, instead of just something new, something fresh.
Well, I think there is good stuff out there. It's just on TV. And TV affords to give them more creative freedom than movies.
Yeah. It's like the TV industry is killing the movie industry, which is like a double-edged sword or something. It's like, I don't know.
It's like streaming industry maybe, because I think the TV industry kind of going to be dead in another 10 years. As far as like the big three, you know what I'm talking about. At least any kind of broadcast television.
Yeah, I don't think I ever watched the big three unless I'm watching like local news for a minute or something.
Yeah, when's the last time? The last time show that I got into was Blacklist. That was the last show that I watched. I mean, they're all what they're doing now on the networks now are game shows because they don't cost anything to make, and they're pushing. And it used to be when we were kids, Mike. September, second week of September, new shows rolled out, and they were 23 weeks, 23 week or 24 weeks. That these shows had. Now they're lucky these shows get 12 or 13 episodes now, and they fill the rest in with The Wall or The Floor is Lava.
That should be a good thing. You should be able to concentrate your writing on fewer episodes, but they're not doing it because that's the British model, really. Hell, some of those series They're a
But John, they're
joke.
cutting the staffs too.
They'll be like 5 seasons, and it'll be like 18 episodes. You know, or like 25 episodes, like five or 6 episodes a season. You know.
Yeah.
But they're weird. But
I remember when Lost was made, and they were discussing what they were talking about, and the first year he had the first 3 seasons all written. Carlton Coos, he had the first 3 seasons all written, and he said, "Well, we don't know if we're going to be here until after season 3." And when they got the go ahead for season 2, they wrote the rest of the stories. So, you know, it's like these shows get off like with rocky starts, and you don't know if they're going to get 13 episodes or maybe 6. So there's no creative freedom with that, because they're all against the, I mean, these shows, the highest rated shows now, get 4.6 million viewers, and that's on Channel 6, you know, NBC, CBS, or NBC, you know. But you put a game show on like Press Your Luck, you'll get 6 million viewers.
And Joe Rogan gets more viewers than that.
That's actually the way that
But then again,
Supernatural.
he has creative freedom.
Yeah.
To say whatever the hell he wants to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's got a contract and stuff.
Yeah. Go ahead, Katie. I'm sorry.
That's just kind of a joke. It goes around because they talk about like you know, they tried to. He gets criticized by the mainstream media, and they're like, "Well, he gets more views than all of you guys combined. So what's it matter?" You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the way Supernatural was written too. The creator actually wrote it up to 5 seasons, and then after that, I think was CW. I can't remember which one it originally aired on, but they saw how successful it was, and the creator was no longer the creator, but he stayed on like as a producer, and then it went on for that 10 more seasons. And like I said, he was no longer the creator because he only created it for that 5 seasons.
Yeah.
But they, I said, they saw how successful it was, but he stayed on as a producer because it was his show. It was his baby. But he no longer had any more, you know, ideas because he wrote it specifically up to just the ending of the 5th season.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I think it was a WB, wasn't it, before CW, or CW and then WB?
Maybe that was it, yeah. Because I mean, this was already like 20 years ago. I think it aired in or started in what, 2005. So 19 years ago when it first aired.
I think so.
Yeah.
In the WB.
Yeah.
In the WB first.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
CW put out some real stinkers though, especially in the. Well, they started out good with like that green, you know, with Arrow and some of those superhero movies.
Oh yeah, yeah, Green
TV
Arrow and then Flash, Supergirl.
Yeah.
Oh, and
those are all connected too, because they've had crossover episodes where they're all together.
And but then they had like Batgirl or
Catwoman.
Yeah, and it was horrible.
I've never seen that one, but yeah, Green Arrow, Flash, and Supergirl. At least Supergirl started out good. I did not think I was gonna like it based on the trailer, but when I actually watched it, I liked it.
Yeah.
I don't know about the later seasons though. I think I've heard that it ended, or the last couple of seasons actually went like a different direction or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had Lois and Clark, didn't he? Originally back in the day. Superboy or something like that.
Smallville.
Smallville, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, Smallville. Smallville's really good. I really like that one.
Did they did bring back, it was like a Lois and Clark. It was something as like Lois and Superman or something. It was a spin on that same
Lois
name.
and Superman, I think.
Yeah, that's supposed to have been all right. I heard. I've never watched it, but it's supposed to have been decent.
Yeah, I think it's in its 3rd season or its 4th season, one of those right now.
Yeah.
And then there's Stargirl too.
Yeah.
Is that one of them too that's connected?
Yeah, I think it is on there as well.
Okay.
You know, I watched that first season. I mean, it's nothing great, but I didn't hate it. You know, I didn't really hate that character so much, but it was. But I've only seen one season.
Yeah,
I bought it actually for some weird reason.
I was going to say, I think TV needs to do something like have a show like Lost again, where it makes it an event. You know, it's nothing like it, and everybody wants to tune in and watch it on Thursday. You know what I mean? And they have to wait till Thursday and stuff. Make it an event again. You know, like things were.
Yeah.
And I think that's how TV will be saved somehow. And that's what movies needs to do. You know, just get something in there, like Wolverine and Deadpool, but make it.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's the only movie that I've been excited about. I haven't seen it yet. Me and my boyfriend were gonna go to the drive-in and see it, but our plans kind of got squashed. So we may actually wait until it's out on physical and just watch it at home. But that's the only movie I've been excited about, other than Terrifier 3. That's the only other one, but that I think might be coming out during Christmas time, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure, but other than that, that's the only one. And I hate the fact that they're Disney now, but I love the fact that Ryan Reynolds actually fought for that movie to still stay true to Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool.
Yeah.
So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Didn't he say I'm just pissed off at these movies being made, and don't get me started on Deadpool and Wolverine. I've listened to a lot of the comic book guys, and they're all, for the most part, satisfied with it. So I haven't seen it though, so I don't have an opinion. So
yeah, I haven't seen it either, but everybody that has, I know, love it.
Yeah, I'm not a comic book person, so as far as comic books, I don't judge it on that, but I love the first two. I love Ryan Reynolds, so that's what I'm going off of.
Yeah.
And I'm actually so fed up with Disney. You guys know how much I love Nightmare Before Christmas and Tim Burton and stuff, but I'm actually so fed up with Disney that I think I'm even going to stop going so hard with Nightmare Before Christmas stuff, which is really hard for me to say and do because I've been a fan of it and buying stuff and products and just, obsessed with it for over 20 years. But I just think that it's too commercialized now. It's too expensive. It's too ridiculous to the point that why keep buying? Why keep supporting? I have so much stuff already that why?
Did you hear about that lawsuit or that?
Yeah, about the woman who died from the allergies at the restaurant. Yeah.
Yeah. And have you heard about that?
The husband signed up for Disney Plus.
Oh yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's wrong.
The husband signed up for Disney Plus.
Up.
Yeah. And
no, that is ridiculous.
Yeah, that shouldn't have nothing to do with that, Yeah.
Yeah, I just went to Disney this year when I went home for my brother's memorial. Me and my niece went to Disneyland. So that is like, I really wish I wouldn't have gone. I shouldn't have wasted my time. And I was all decked out looking like Sally and Jack with my reversible dress. I went one side, for like half of the park, I was dressed as Sally. The other half of the time I was dressed as Jack. Why did I do that? I feel so stupid now doing that. But I mean, I haven't been to the park since I was 16 years old. So, when it was something special for me and my niece to do together, that who knows if we would ever get the chance again. And just, that is so messed up because we ate there. We drank food there, drinks there and stuff. And just thinking that, what if something would have happened to one of us? And I just can't believe that.
Yeah.
Kenny, if you hadn't heard about what happened, the full thing is abandoned woman went there and they ate at one of the Disney restaurants inside Disney. I don't know if it was Land or World, but they ate, and the woman had a peanut allergy, and they knew about it up front, but they had contacted the restaurant beforehand to ask them if that was a problem, and they said they're very careful with that kind of diet or whatever. They assured her that it wouldn't be no problem. So they went there and ate, and she basically got sick and died like right after leaving. Like, I mean, it was pretty sudden after leaving. But here's the kicker. they can't file a lawsuit with Disney because the husband had signed up for just like it was just like a free, I guess, a trial membership of Disney Plus, because there's somewheres in the fine print that says basically if you sign any kind of contract with Disney, you can't sue them for anything. That's just the layman's term for it. But now I've heard some of the YouTube lawyers say more than likely it won't stick in court because it's so ridiculous. But I haven't heard any more about it. But
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's like saying somebody bought a VHS Disney movie in the 80s. They can't sue them or something. You know, it's ridiculous.
Well, probably not, because if you accidentally one of those clamshell covers, you know, after it gets old and brittly, and you close your finger on it, it cuts your finger off, then you can't sue them because you bought it in like 30 years ago.
Yeah, you're like some kind of freak accident. You're down in the basement and stuff, and you get like cut, you bleed to death, you bleed out because of this VHS tape.
Yeah.
That'd be a good movie. I'm gonna write that tonight.
I really hate shitting on them. I like the classic Disney stuff, and I understand people like them. But I think the Disney adults are Disney. You know what I'm talking about. The people are like crazy. There's 2 or 3 of these people I don't watch 2 or 3 people, but there's people I like watching. Some like people that do cruises and stuff like that go on cruises. And like 2 or 3 of them that I found, they're all like these like kind of Disney adults, and they all live in Orlando, and they are always going to Disney. They just, and the one couple that I watch, I don't really care because they don't really ham it up about. They don't really dress like Disney. They just go like once a month maybe or something and go eat there. So, you know, it's not a real big deal, but some people, they dress up and do all the stuff. And like, I mean, Disney had to put a clamp down on people dressing up like the characters and stuff that would go into the parks. They basically had to say, hey, you can't dress exactly like, it was something crazy. So you can only kind of resemble the character you're dressing like now or something. It's some kind of weird thing, but it's kind of a strange phenomenon. You can do whatever you want. I'm not criticizing. I collect a lot of movies and do stuff like that. You know, you do what you want, but it's just a strange thing for adults to be. If you have kids, it's one thing, but people don't have kids. You know, you have kids to take with. You know, it's fine.
It's expensive too, so it's like they must not have kids. Keep doing it that much. It's like go somewhere else, man. Because we went there in 2017, and it was fun. Kids had fun and stuff.
I think I think it would be fun to do a little bit. If I lived in Orlando and I'd do it for a while, but I don't think after you've done it like a few times. I mean, what else is there to do? I just want to go there. I mean, there is different events throughout the years. You go to like Christmas and Oktoberfest and doing, different seasons. They have different things. I understand, but I mean, it's kind of the same thing over and over after a while. It might be fun to go for a few years in a row and experience it, but not, I wouldn't consume my life with it like some people.
Oh, no. It was cool. That year I went. Oh, I'm sorry, John. Yeah. I was going to say the year I went, they had the Avatar ride, and you would ride like you're one of the birds or that's in the movie. It was pretty cool. It was worth the hour and a half wait. It really was.
Oh, earlier when I was talking about the cast of My Name is Earl, the one guy I couldn't think of was Eddie Steeples. He plays Darnell on there. Crabman. They always call it Earl. Always comes goes, "Hey, Crabman." He said, "Hey, Earl," and they do that joke in Raising Hope. Let me look up. But his name's funny in Raising Hope. Sorry, I just been this show's been on my mind since I've been watching it, and I've been wanting to do this for a while. I kind of wanted to make a video on it and make it actually do a good, kind of write out a script and do a good job with it, but but I don't know what to say that's not been said before. Now, I do My Name is Earl on the cast. Oh, here it is. And I always forget that Martha Plimpton, she was in is she in E.T. or is she in Goonies? Yeah. Because she makes a joke in there, and I forgot about that. I couldn't remember what she was from, but I knew, but I was like, oh yeah, but I couldn't remember which Spielberg movie she was in because she references Steven Spielberg. Let's see here. See what Jason Lee played in here. Smokey Floyd. That's it.
Hmm.
So he has the ridiculous like clump of hair. That's pretty funny. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just rambling.
You know, I never did watch that much. My Name is Earl. I always missed it somehow, and then it was in reruns, and I guess I'm gonna have to look it up. Start watching it.
Are you alright?
Yeah. But it's one of those shows I wanted to watch it, but I just always would miss it. It's just like,
yeah, both of them were there. I mean, obviously, if you watch My Name is Earl, you're not gonna. There's no like universal ties at that point. You don't get it until Raising Hope, but they're both good. I don't know. I think Raising Hope might be a little bit better show. I think its writing is just slightly better, but they're both really good.
Mm-hmm.
But the other show I wanted to talk about, do you want to say something, Kenny?
No.
Oh. Yeah. The other show I wanted to talk about that's connected universe is another one that another universe, and this comes like way before you really thought about that kind of stuff, would have been I would call it the Paul Henning verse, which would be definitely Green Acres and Petticoat Junction. Those are definitely connected.
Oh, now, the Beverly Hillbillies?
The question is the Beverly Hillbillies connected? But Paul Henning, if people out there don't know, Paul Henning, he created Beverly Hillbillies and Petticoat Junction. He produced them, and he created both of those two. Now, he didn't create Green Acres, but he produced Green Acres. It was created by another guy. But Green Acres and Petticoat Junction are obviously tie-ins. They cross over characters. It's the same town essentially. Hooterville is right in Green Acres. Well, the Shady Acres Motel is right down the train tracks from Hooterville. It's all in the. You can't never forget Stankwell Falls either, but those are definitely but my question is Beverly Hillbillies connected? You would think yes, except for let's see here. I always forget her name. Petticoat Junction. That was in Beverly Hillbillies. That was Jethro's mom, and the actor played Jethro's mom, and hang on just a second here.
I can't think of her name.
Benaderet. Yeah, that's a weird
name. Okay, yeah.
Bia. I don't know how you pronounce her first name. I just
Benaderet or something.
Benaderet, yeah. Bia Benaderet. And now she's Jethro's mom in Beverly Hillbillies, but she plays a different character. But as we see with My Name is Earl and Raising Hope, they're the same. They have the same actors playing different characters, but are clearly a tied universe. So I thought they always were, but the problem is in Green Acres, they referenced watching the Beverly Hillbillies on TV multiple times. So who knows? But they do the same thing in Raising Hope. They reference watching. They say like, why is that? that show My Name's Earl get canceled? But they're clearly connected universes. So
yeah,
that would be,
I
guess, be called being meta. So
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, I didn't know if that was meta or not, but yeah.
Yeah. But it's kind of,
that's pretty cool though.
I find the weird things like that and things like that. That's the stuff I like, is really weird stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Yeah, once you figure that out, you can't not think about it. You know. Like, oh,
Yeah. And back in those days, people weren't really thinking in that type of. I mean, I guess they were, since they were tying two different shows together, but I don't know if they were as conscious of the I guess the lingual zeitgeist of it, or calling it like its own shared universe.
Mm-hmm.
I have a few TV shows on DVD: the Team, Rockford Files, Dukes of Hazzard, Knight Rider. Nice. Yeah, I need to get the full series of Knight Rider. I just have like one season of that.
Yeah.
And the A-Team as well. Both of those I need full.
Yeah, I was thinking Knight Rider got re-released by what do you call it?
Shout something.
No, not Shout. What you call the other place? Gosh.
Well, it was right on the tip of my tongue, and then I forgot it.
Mill Creek.
Mill Creek. Yeah, that's it. Kenny. Mill Creek. I thought it just got re-released again or something on Blu-ray or something recently.
It could have. Yeah.
Which one is Knight Rider? Is that the one where the car comes to life and talks to the person who's driving him?
Yes.
Okay. I haven't seen that one. I know references
Well,
from it. I just wanted to make sure I had the right.
The car doesn't come alive. It's just like it's like a robotic.
Or I mean, yeah, that it talks to him or whatever.
Yeah. You were correct. Just
Yeah, that was one of my favorite shows when I was a kid.
yeah,
Knight Rider, Airwolf.
That Blu-ray.
Yeah, they had great TV shows in the '80s. I mean, just on one night you had A-Team and what was the other?
Dukes of Hazzard.
Well, yeah, that was on Dukes of Hazzard was on Friday nights.
Yeah,
it was always Dukes, Dallas, and Falcon Crest on Friday nights.
Falcon Crest.
Yeah,
those shows I don't know that well because they were big whenever I was really young, but I remember them. Not Dukes of Hazzard. That one I remember watching because that's the kind of a show when you're a little kid you can kind of watch along with, and it's not that complicated. But the other shows are more dramas, I guess.
Yeah.
That's another thing that these stations have to go back to. They have to go back to like family sitcoms, and then like after 9 o'clock you had your action. You had your Knight Rider, you had your A-Team. I mean Tuesday nights at 8 was, I think, A-Team, then Riptide. You guys remember Riptide? And then it was you had another one because like Thursday, because I used to get mad because on Thursday nights Hill Street Blues was on the same time as Knots Landing, and I couldn't get Knots Landing off my TV to save my life because my mom was addicted to it. Yeah,
my mom watched that too. Yeah, every Thursday. It was Thursday, right?
Yep, Thursday night, because I was just talking about this in church last week to one of my friends because his wife is watching Knots Landing again from the beginning, and I said, oh, that was like because it was the ultimate coffee, water jug thing, because you'd go in, talk to all your friends. My mom would go in and talk to all of her friends at work about what it was that happened, because you didn't have VCRs back then. VCRs were expensive back then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, my parents didn't know how to work them anyway, so.
Either did my mom.
So I'm like 7. I'm like 7, and like here. Let me have Mike put this tape in here.
Yeah.
We don't know how to do it.
She knew how to put it in, but she couldn't get the remember because you had to go to the back of the TV to hit cable and then the adapter on it, so she couldn't figure that out.
Yes, I remember Airwolf.
Airwolf was a good show.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I had to
do you guys remember? Do you remember in the early '80s when the Dukes of Hazzard was big? That McDonald's had like these plastic Happy Meals that looked like the shape of the cars, but it was like plastic and 2 lids. Do you guys remember those?
Oh yeah, I do. They also had some like steam. What do you call them? Not steamships. What do you call it? With the wheel on it. What are they called? Whatever they were. But they had those for a while, and you could put stickers on it and stuff. That came with a few stickers, and you put it on there. So it was
like a. What was it? Like a steam.
Yeah, like the Belle of Louisville.
Like the paddle wheel on it or something.
Yeah.
No, for some reason I
don't know what.
Remember those? Yeah.
I don't even know what it wasn't even tied into anything like a movie or nothing. It was just some boats or something. Then you could put them in your bathtub or something. It would float because it was all plastic. So
that's cool. The toys these days. I feel sorry for the kids. It used to be when you got a Happy Meal, sometimes it was a good toy, but now these days it's sorry. Yeah, I've seen. It's been a long time. Hill Street Blues was a little before my time, but nowadays they're like lame. They get like a puzzle or something in there. It's like a learning game.
Or they only give you a Hot Wheel or a Barbie or something like that. They don't have any variety anymore like they used to.
Yeah.
It's not like I didn't get Happy Meals all the time or anything, but when I got one, it was like, ooh.
Yeah. Well, I haven't had one in a long, long time, but like my cousin, his little girls, my mom watches her sometimes, and I'll get her a Happy Meal every now and then. That's the first one I've gotten probably 30 years.
Yeah. Kenny, do you remember the hot and cold side?
The McDLTs.
McDLTs, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that was pretty cool.
It
was actually pretty good.
Yeah, they were very good.
Because I was little.
McDLTs at McDonald's?
Well, it was Mick. What was it? Yeah, Mick.
DLT.
McDLT. They would keep the cold stuff on one side and the hot stuff on this side. So then when you open it up and then you put them together, it was
like a
super fresh.
Box. Yeah.
How long ago was that?
Oh man, it was like mid '80s. Yeah, sometime in
there. Yeah, I remember those. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I'll send you a picture of what they look like. It was just basically a burger on one side. It was like a long tray, like you would get pancakes in. On one side would have the burger and the patty in the roll, and then the other side you had lettuce, tomato, and mayonnaise on it, and they just put a lid on it, and that's how you served it. And it was great because you could dump your fries in the other side.
Huh. Never knew that.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, George Costanza did a commercial for it. Jason Alexander.
Yeah.
He did a commercial for
Seinfeld guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was another one my mom never missed. Quincy.
Barnaby Jones. Yep.
Barnaby Jones.
That's
Here. You want to hear my Jack Klugman impression from Quincy? Sam, she was murdered. I was every episode of Quincy.
Yeah, I'm like getting into some of the older shows.
Murder, Sam.
I've been watching In the Heat of the Night. Like I didn't watch it like I don't guess I didn't really like it back in the day. I was 12 or
that was
something when it
good
came
show.
out, and I don't know. I've just discovered it here recently. Not every episode's great, but most of them are.
There's a good tie in talking about Barnaby too. I thought it was Buddy Epson. I had to double check, but I was pretty sure it was Buddy Epson. It's a show I didn't really watch because it was a little bit before my time, but it was definitely before my time. It was 73 to 80.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
just
I
It
don't-
would have
Barnaby
been 2
all
in
the time.
1980. So
Yeah, I don't remember it until watching reruns of it now. You know.
Wonka.
Yeah.
Please stop.
We liked it because Catwoman was on it. Lee Merriweather played her,
Yeah.
played his secretary.
Oh,
in the heat of the night.
yeah. I watch that sometimes, but it comes on late. Like if I just watch it, as it comes on the channel, it's late usually.
That's a good movie too. Have you seen the movie?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the movie's real good too. It's based, well, it's kind of like that's
Yeah.
based on the movie, it's a TV show.
Yeah.
You know what's a good one to start watching, Mike? Mannix with Mike
Mannix.
Connors. Mannix.
Yeah.
I don't know if they still do it now because I don't have MeTV because I have YouTube TV, and I used to tape them DVR, and me and my mom would watch it in the morning. Mannix and Cannon. Loved Cannon. Cannon was a great show with William Conrad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw those on there, and I had to watch it because I got MeTV. I've been watching the crap out of some MeTV, man. So that's
Okay.
Mannix and all that was on
Yeah,
there.
do me a favor. Just tape an episode to watch it. William Conrad's a big fat guy like me, and everything. He's got like he's a private detective, okay? And what he does is every episode he's like, so what are we gonna have for dinner tonight?
Matter of fact, Kenny, I did see that the other night. It was the other night.
Oh, okay.
And it was like a close up of him, and it was like he was huge. It was like they would never
he's
do
a
that.
big boy, yeah.
Yeah, they would never do that now. They would never have like a bigger guy.
Cannon always reminded me of my uncle. My uncle, I'm built like my uncle, and my uncle had those piercing blue eyes like he has. And I used to say to Unc, I said, just do this for me. He goes, what's for dinner, Pat? Like Pat.
Yeah.
So, but it was like every episode in Cannon, I'm not lying, it's like he's always making something, and then he has to, like in his kitchen or something in his apartment, and then he's got to go fight crime. And then he's chasing this guy that could run like a 4.340, big fat guy, like running. And then, I'm not lying. It's the truth. Every episode, he's in a chase, or then he and my favorite one was where he got the car over where a fence would be, and somehow his big fat ass jumped over the fence, like from the car.
Yeah, he's driving like a big old LTD, like a big Ford, big old boat car and stuff. But.
Yeah, those were in fashion in the 70s, boy.
Yeah, I was going to say, William Conrad was the voice on when Gunsmoke was on the radio. He played Matt.
Oh, okay.
The main guy, yeah. And then when it went to TV, his that became an issue because he was a bigger guy than what they wanted and stuff. But he had the voice and stuff, so that was kind of, I don't know. I've been watching a lot of Perry Mason too, though.
Yeah, that's a good show too.
I've been getting into Perry Mason. It's funny watching all these shows, man.
It's just you know what? It's like a place in time. It feels like a portal in time.
Yeah.
When you're watching those shows, because it's funny. Because I love The Odd Couple. That's like one of my favorite TV shows. And I'm watching it, and he's like, 50 cents for a sandwich. When did this happen? When did you raise your prices?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're in New York of all places too. So it's like.
Well, it's like the writing was good on those on those shows, especially some of the dramas and stuff. The writing was really good. The actors were really good, perfectly cast in a lot of cases, and I don't know, they were just really good, and it's like
that's where all those guys like Cannell, Stephen J. Cannell,
mm-hmm.
Who he was a writer, he wrote for Columbo. He did a lot of Berettas. I remember, I used to like Beretta just because of the theme song with Sammy Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Keep your eye on that sparrow. Don't do it.
He must have been like loaded or something, because he did develop like a ton of shows. Like he wrote a bunch of shows. Like he must have he came up with all these like famous and stuff. And he must have been
Magnum. He wrote Magnum.
Magnum.
Him and Ballesero, David Ballesero, David L. Ballesero. Those two guys were like writing partners, and those guys were like huge, like
TV people. Yeah. I think they even did Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Wow.
Ballesero or whatever he did. I think he did that.
Yeah, so, that was another good show, Sydney. Fall Guy. I loved Fall Guy.
Mm-hmm. And T.J. Hooker. T.J. Hooker.
Oh, yeah. And it was funny. His toupees changed every year. Shatner's. It was great. If you noticed on the first season with James Darren, he had like a really. We're talking William Shatner here, Katie. He had like a very thin layer down, and then the next season with Adrian Zemed, he had that big, poofy, toupee.
On Star Trek?
On a show called T.J. Hooker.
Oh, okay.
It was a cop show.
Yeah. But it had Heather Locklear, I think, was on it. Heather Locklear. And,
people talk shit about her. Now she's, a reformed alcoholic and stuff like that. And she looks terrible. But she had 2 shows in the top 10, if you think back then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She had T.J. Hooker and she had Dynasty.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, and plus and then in the 90s, she had Melrose Place.
Oh, yeah.
Which was really huge.
Yeah. Yeah, I think when she married Richie Sambora, I think it was pretty hard on her, I guess. The guitars for Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
They were married for a while.
I've heard of all of those shows. I've never seen them. Like even 90210, I've never seen.
I think Lee Majors is from around here.
I think he is.
From Kentucky, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Because an old friend of mine when I was in like middle school, I used to stay all night at his house, and his dad, I think, went to school with him when they're in grade school or something, because they brought it up once for some reason. We weren't, I don't know, but he said, yeah, we went to school with Lee Majors or whatever, but he said his real name back. That's not his real name, obviously, but yeah.
There's a lot of guys from this state you would never think of. It's weird.
Yeah.
Like Harry Dean
Stanton. Get out of here, though, they don't come back.
No, they're like.
But speaking of William Shatner, he owns a farm outside of Lexington, someplace, a horse farm. I don't know if he still does or not, but he did at one time for a long time.
Yeah, and that actor Steve Zahn. He lives in Lexington, and I think Ethan Hawke owns some property in the state somewhere. Somebody like that. I know he was filming a movie down here, but
Steve Zahn at one time he married like a woman who was in the horse industry or something like that. From what I understand, because people would run into him at bars in Lexington, and I never did, but I would hear about it, but that's how I knew he was around.
Yeah, that's really weird. I mean, it is nice down in Lexington. I mean, that's where my son's going to college and everything, but it's it's beautiful down there.
Yeah, it's got a little bit bigger. It's it's a little bit different than 20 years ago.
Oh,
Downtown's a little bit nicer. It's got a lot more going on. 20, 25 years ago, Lexington was dead downtown. There was nothing hardly. A couple of bars not connected together, and then they made a whole thing out of it. And then they've turned that one area into a bunch of different stuff. Sorry.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that.
Yeah.
With that college there and stuff.
Yeah.
And everything. They're kind of been like Nashville now. They're trying to compete with like Nashville, have all stuff going on.
The lead major, TJ Hooker was pretty good. That's a show. TJ Hooker I didn't really watch. So I was turned around there for a while. I'm looking for something. I was going to do another little tie-in, but it's not really a universe. It's just one of these like rumors or tall tales kind of things that I was going to talk about just briefly. But I can't find what I'm looking for. It's probably right in front of my face, and I'm just overlooking it because it's in the dark here. But it starts out with this series here, Secret Agent.
Oh yeah, that's Patrick
Gowan. Yeah,
he was on The Prisoner, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's what I was going to tie that in with. That's
okay.
a rumor, but it's probably not true. But the rumor is that the character in The Prisoner is the character from Secret Agent because they're both secret agents. And in Prisoner, he's trying to retire, and they think he's knows something, and they capture him to get that information out of him. That's the whole part of The Prisoner. They're trying to psychologically extract the information that he knows, but he's really just trying to retire or leave the agency. So that's just a rumor, but it's not. I mean, I don't know if it's called a rumor or what you would call that, but it's probably not true, but that's just a fun little thing people always talked about.
Yeah, it's probably closer than you think, Yeah. It's just not officially,
I have it on Blu-ray here. That's why I can't find it. I used to have the nice DVD set, and I got rid of it after I got it on Blu-ray, and I wish I'd have kept the book because it was a nice DVD set. I think I'll rebuy it one of these days, just as long as the price don't go out the wall, out, through the roof.
Yeah, you got a lot of nice TV collections, John.
Yeah, it's probably the pride of my collection, even though I've got a lot of movies too, but it's probably it's kind of overwhelming,
Yeah, it's hard to believe there were so many good TV shows over the past 50 years or so.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Now I hate. There's a lot of shows I've seen all of them, but there's a lot of these older shows like Leave It to Beaver or something like that. You can watch. That's for an example. Or what else new do I have? Like I got a Donna Reed show and things like that. That you can watch a few episodes. It's something I want to have so I can put in a disc every now and then and watch. And there's some old TV shows like Green Acres. I can watch all of them. And I want to watch the whole season because they're good. Even though it's the same kind of running jokes all the time. But there's something about it that I really enjoy watching.
It's like you hang out with them.
Right. But some of those other shows, they're good, but you kind of get the gist of the show by watching just a few episodes. Yeah. It's really not going to progress any further than.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm going to cut off my microphone and my camera for a second just in case my cats get into a fight. So I'll be back here in a couple minutes.
Okay. Yeah, I appreciate you guys talking TV with me. I've been wanting to do it for a while because.
Yeah, Alice. I'm reading the comments. Alice. Yeah. I used to watch that all the time.
Sorry, I'm behind on the comments. I've been talking and looking. I don't know where that show is. Sorry, I don't have as much stuff prepared for universes because, obviously there's Quentin Tarantino as far as movies. And we know that those universes are loosely tied together. Probably in the early days, they were more tied together. And maybe they're only tied together by one thing, maybe like the the Red Apple cigarettes or something. Because I know that Red Apple cigarettes show up in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I think they show up before that too.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's an ongoing thing.
Oh,
I wouldn't doubt. Well, probably not. I'm not sure about Django. I wouldn't doubt they show up somehow in there or not. But you really didn't have branded cigarette packs back in those days. So
yeah.
Not
I want to say the Evil Dead, that car, but that's just basically a movie. In movies, the Sam, what's his face? Always Raimi. Yeah, he has that Oldsmobile, that tan looking Oldsmobile or something. Olds 98 or something that shows up in a whole bunch of movies. That same car and stuff.
I watched. I know. I probably wear Lauren out talking about Scott Michaels. Scott Michaels does these. He used to do the Dearly Departed tour in L.A., which is he went around to, and he had the museum, the Dearly Departed Museum, which he had a bunch of weird stuff in. But he did a video. He actually, Tarantino contacted him, and he was somewhat of a what would you call it? Just he just provided information about Charles Manson and things like that. Where he did the Helter Skelter tour, he knew a lot about the subject matter. So Tarantino like met with him a few times, and he got to visit when some of the scenes were being shot and things like that. So, but he did a video about the cars that were a few of the main cars that were in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and he was talking about it like he actually knew the person who owned the original the old car that they come up to do the murders in. I guess you would call it the murder car. That old is like an Oldsmobile or something like that. I think that's something like that.
Yeah, like a Dodge or Oldsmobile. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But he knew the guy that owned the original Charles Manson car. And it was available to be in the movie, but Tarantino thought it was too weird to have the actual Charles Manson car in the movie. So they recreate, or they had the images of it. They recreated it down to the T, to every scratch and dent in the car. But the 68 Firebird that belonged to Abigail Folger that you see in the background a couple of times, it's like accurate to the real car because it's in the background of pictures of the murder scene. And Jay Sebring's black 68 Porsche, which in the movie it's actually like a 73 Porsche or 72 Porsche, but they looked almost exactly the same. So, but he went and visited the guy who actually bought the Abigail Folger car that was in the movie, the movie car for that. So I thought some of that stuff's kind of cool.
Yeah, he's got some pretty good episodes on there. He knows a lot of local history.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, he's got a good one. I'll watch it.
Yeah. He's just. I don't think he lives in L.A. anymore. Another casualty that got ran out of there for all the crime in Hollywood, and the high cost of living there as well.
Yeah.
But he had a video I watched the other day, and he's like, I just had to take my car and have some work done to it. So I think I'll walk around this neighborhood and talk about all the everything I know. And he was going to all these places that have connections to all it's crazy how much he knows about it. Like, and where people were murdered, said, this is connected to somebody being murdered here. And it's just fascinating. Somebody knows.
Yeah, I think he's originally from like Michigan or something, and he moved out there in the 80s or 90s or something. He started that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. He knows a lot of history.
Yeah. People give him weird stuff too. He's got all what was in his museum. It's just like weird stuff he'd find. It'd be like the bricks from somebody's fireplace that had died, weird things like that.
Yeah, piece of a pool or a door off a car or something, just crazy stuff.
Yeah. This is a show I always liked.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that was always on like Nick at Night. I never did watch it for some reason. I don't know why. I think it came on like after Mr. Ed when I was a little kid. I would watch Nick at Night. I had to always watch Mr. Ed though.
Yeah,
I was just.
I think that's where I first saw it.
I was just saying on Saturday when I was a chef, I'd get home at like 2:00 in the morning, and Nick at Night was the only thing really viably on, TV, and it was like Mr. Ed, F Troop, Car 54, Where Are You? They were like all like and Dragnet. I was hooked on Dragnet.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I loved that show. Because I remember my buddy watching it with me. He's like, Colonel Potter was in Dragnet? And I'm like, yup.
Yeah, I have Car 54 over here.
Yeah, Car 54 is pretty cool.
All kinds of weird stuff.
Yeah, he's got tons of stuff.
That.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I guess that is weird. It's weird and weird. Weird about weird.
Yeah, Magnum PI was a great show. That's one of my top 5 favorite shows.
Yeah. It's got like a great theme song. It's got like a great opening. And it's just, I don't know, it's just really cool.
Yeah.
I like that show. Get a Life.
Oh yeah, Get a Life. Yeah. That was on Fox, I think, for a couple of years.
Did they play like Nick at Night, like different shows every night or at certain times? Because I just remember it when I watched Nick at Night, it was Bewitched. What was the other witched one? Genie in a Bottle.
Oh, I Dream of Genie.
I believe, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched Laverne and Shirley, The Munsters, I Love Lucy.
Yeah.
But none of these other shows you guys are talking about do I ever remember seeing on Nick at Night.
Yeah, I don't remember how that was.
Oh.
I don't know if they showed the same stuff every night or not. I think they may have. I just remember watching it like in like 87 or 88.
Yeah, that's when I was cooking. So it was just like...
Yeah, I used to...
Then, so could that be why? So I was watching those, I guess, in the 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, I watched it for a while, and then it kind of changed a little bit.
I guess that might be why. I don't know. That's weird, though, how I guess they would play different ones at different time periods then, I guess. I don't know.
Well, that's what I like about MeTV. They do that. It's different stuff, every night.
Okay. Yeah, because I do know it was Nick at Night, and I'm sure there was probably some Brady Bunch in there as well.
Yeah, I remember TBS Superstation used to show that like in the afternoons, sometime after school or something like that. It was like late afternoon or something. I don't know. I might be mistaken, but it seemed like that's when it came on.
I'm pretty sure some of it was Nick at Night. Some of it could have been during maybe some other time slots or something, or some other stations, but I do know some of it was specifically Nick at Night.
That's what I was looking for right there.
Oh, yeah.
The Ghostbusters.
Yeah, that was real. Yeah, that was all. I've never seen that, but it always looks so weird, Like,
yeah,
I heard it's good.
Is that a TV show?
Yep. Yeah, this guy right here, Larry Storch, he was in F Troop. That's when I.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, in fact, this is the reason why the Ghostbuster movie was almost not called the Ghostbusters, because they had to get the rights from this TV show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what's weird. We think of Ghostbusters start in 1984 when the movie came out, and it was like, no, it was on before, and it was,
Huh.
Then there was that animated show too.
Wasn't the Ghostbusters? Wasn't it kind of based on that TV show? That other Ghost? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think that the animated show was based on the original show.
Yeah.
That one.
there was two Ghost. Remember, there's two Ghostbusters animated shows. There was the real Ghostbusters, which was based on the movie.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And then
And
there's
one
another
called
one
like Primeval.
Well, there's the one with the ape in it, with the hat.
It had it had like an old car too that flew. It was a flying car, like a Model T or something. You know, it was like an old.
Oh yeah,
remember that?
Yeah. There was. Yeah. Think about that. I was starting to get out of like watching after school cartoons about that time. You know, it's kind of watching other stuff. You know, watching MTV or something like that back then.
Yeah. Second here, I'll share.
There's a lot of cartoons I never knew existed till I got older, like Batman the Animated Series, Beetlejuice, I never knew was animated, a show that was animated from it, and Superman, all of those, Justice League, all that stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I don't remember that was on back then when I was a kid.
Yeah, because I grew up like with Rugrats, Angry Beavers, Rocko's Modern Life, Hey Arnold. Those were the shows that I watched.
Yeah, I always watched Welcome Back, Kotter on a WGN, the Chicago network.
Sweat Hog.
Yeah, they always showed that every afternoon.
I've never seen that. I've heard of it, but I've never seen it. I got Boy Meets World, Growing Pains, Dawson's Creek, Buffy, Angel, Charmed.
Yeah, you came into stuff like the late 90s or something.
Yeah, that's my era, yeah.
Yeah, somewhere in there, mid and late 90s.
Did you ever hear of Extreme Ghostbusters? It's like
I don't think so. Extreme Ghostbusters.
Weird. It's like a cartoon. It looks like it's kind of loosely based on the real Ghostbusters cartoon.
Yeah, I wonder if that's a reboot of it or something.
I don't know. Yep, WKRP. WKRP is one I need to get the complete series. And I think they sold the complete series briefly at Walmart, and I missed it buying the complete series. It was like real cheap. I think I have like one season, but I don't have the whole thing.
If you go on eBay, you can get it really cheap. Groove usually has it for like $25.
Yeah. I figured I could, but it's one I don't think about that much when I'm thinking about, but I'll have to look it
it was
up.
one of my favorite shows when I was a kid. I wanted
to be a DJ. Yeah, I kind of missed those. I kind of like didn't get into like Barney Miller or WKRP or a couple of those shows. I didn't get because I was too. Oh, Taxi's the other one. Like I was too little. I didn't really get into that just yet. You know, when it was on.
Like I used to watch it, but the jokes went over my head because I was only like 8.
Yeah.
You know? I would watch it with my uncle, and he'd be like laughing his ass off, and I'd be like sitting there going, "What was so funny?" It was like sort of like the humor from MASH. I didn't get the humor from MASH because I was too little when that was on.
Yeah, they all had like great theme songs. Like I could watch maybe the theme, the opening, and then it would just go over my head. Like it was just, remember, the bridge and stuff and Taxi and all that stuff. It's just so iconic.
I can't reach it.
Saved by the Bell was another one. I used to watch that every day before I went to school in high school.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of that. Yeah, that's a pretty nice box set.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sydney has Three's Company. That's another show that we were allowed to stay up to watch.
Yeah.
But like the humor went over our heads because we were so little.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Mike, I rebought that series, that Three's Company set.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it's worth it or not. I'll get it. I'll grab it over here and let you see. But it's
they
nice as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, no, they I got an email or something and it was in it. I was like, oh wow, that's cool. I better send that to John. I figure you probably already have a other version of it or something. But yeah, Three's Company, man, we watch that all the time. I guess my parents would let us watch just about anything, I guess, within limits. But.
Well, I did have the other version of it, but this comes with the ropers, and it's really the complete deal. But I thought this was going to be like a really nice set, but it's a slip cover, and it's one of these deals.
Oh, is that Mill Creek?
Yeah. And it's this crap.
Yeah.
Now it is easy to flip through it. It's better than the other set where it's in those sleeves.
Oh yeah, I hate those.
It's easier to go through, but it's still. I was like, this is the only respect that you can give Three's Company. Do it like that.
Yeah, those sets are the worst at night when you're trying to like watch something in the dark and you got to get a little flashlight. You got to flip through the disc, and it's only written on the disc on the hub, so you have to read it. It's like what?
Yeah,
and they're fumbling around, dropping stuff.
Now this does look like a little bit nicer. The discs look like they've been redone too. The artwork on them, but other than that, it's not worth what you pay for it.
Yeah, is it Blu-ray or DVD?
Just DVD.
Oh. Yeah, but it looks like they could have put it on Blu-ray and would have been half of that, discs and stuff at least.
Yeah, they're kind of picky about what they put on Blu-ray. Like we don't have Seinfeld on Blu-ray, but they've already released but I guess Friends is a bigger seller. I guess I don't know why.
Yeah.
Seinfeld's a hell of a lot better show, but
Friends is pretty popular. I guess it's took off again, but
I could see Seinfeld being more niche audience,
comedy wise.
Yeah, because they even got a Lego set. They got like a Friends Lego set out even, so that's how popular they are.
I don't believe they want Seinfeld to be put in Blu-ray for some reason. I feel like I've read that someplace. And I watched a video a while back on it, and or somebody was talking about it, and they were talking about some of these old shows need to be, cleaned up, or not so much cleaned up, but does it actually change the way they appeared originally? You know what I'm saying? It it alters like their original appearance to put them to, basically scale them up to high definition because they weren't shot intended to be put in high definition. I forget what they were talking about, what it changes. It changes something in the appearance. Like
makes it sharper and
I forget what they were talking about exactly how it worked out. I think they were talking about Seinfeld in particular about how I don't remember. It's like the color timing and stuff. It changes like a lot of that stuff in it, and it causes things to stick out that shouldn't.
Oh yeah,
it's just little things like that, and
So I was gonna say, I remember in the early 2000s there was a Seinfeld box set on VHS, and it was like a building. It was his apartment building, and it was real tall, and you had each tape in there, each season. I don't know if you remember that or not.
Then there was one with a refrigerator too, wasn't there?
Oh yeah.
That's a DVD. But I think I'd bought like them individually, the seasons. But then I wanted it. I hated it was all separated, so I ended up rebuying this because Best Buy had this cheap, but it's like this set.
Mm-hmm.
It's just got them all like this. Each season, and I really like this set a lot.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Now that refrigerator and stuff was cool, but I didn't want to pay the exorbitant price for all that.
Yeah, it was really expensive.
It could probably worth some money now. At one time, you used to be able to find it in like the half price books and things like that. It would show up from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
But I already had it. So. Yep, Saved by the Bell.
Sometimes I like watching the TV shows just on TV with the commercials. It seems like natural somehow. Sometimes, you know what I mean? You know that feeling watching the commercials with it. And
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems maybe it's just me, but sometimes.
Katie, I've been watching I found a guy on YouTube. It's called Saved by the Bell Deep Dive, and he just reviews each episode of Saved by the Bell and like he kind of points out flaws and just flaws in the logic too of, you know, it's just funny. He's kind of riffing on it too at the same time. He always points out boom mics. There's always a boom mic in every episode. He's like, boom.
Yeah. That's funny. I was watching a movie the other night and there was a boom in the scene. I was just like, oh man. Because they would map that out when they would show it in the theater. And then sometimes when they're putting them on DVD now, you see that stuff. It's not matted out. So you'll see a boom every once in a while.
Yeah.
That's good. That just reminds me of Bolt.
Yeah. Different stroke.
That was such a cute movie, but yeah, how they would just call out the boom mic.
Boom.
That's just funny.
Not Court. Not Court. I like to have the complete series. I might have one season of it. I don't think I have the whole thing.
They remade it, didn't they? Isn't it on again?
Yeah.
Yeah, it had yeah.
Yeah, Marky Post, man, she's still pretty hot to trot still. I mean, she's probably 80 years old now.
Marky Post passed away, dude.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking about somebody else.
Yeah, the only living person from Night Court is Dan. Dan and Roz.
Bull.
They're the only two. Bull's passed away.
Is he dead too? Yeah.
And Bull died.
Mac passed away. Judge passed away.
Harry Anderson. Yeah.
Yeah, he passed away. He was the first one to go.
Was Harry Anderson the character or the actor? It was the actor.
Actor.
Name, wasn't it?
Harold T. Stone was his character.
Okay. They're kind of similar. I couldn't remember.
That's my favorite show of all time, Night Court. So
yeah.
That's my favorite show. Like I can watch that because it's on Freeview, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And I tape all the episodes, so I'll put that on. You know.
Did you try to watch the new one, or
I got through like 3 episodes, and the black bailiff, they're trying to make her like hysterically funny, and she's awful, you know. And you can't get dirty with Dan anymore, you know. You just can't, you know. Saying, plus he's like in his mid-70s, so it's not as funny, you know, as it used to be.
Is he on there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's Dan, but he just can't be dirty anymore, you know.
Oh, it sucked.
And
and it was always funny how they would always have like hookers and stuff, and they probably don't have that stuff anymore either.
That's why I said you can't do that anymore.
Yeah, they would be in like every episode. They would be being arraigned or something at night.
Yeah, I mean, it was a night court. You know what I mean? It's like, what do you expect? It's a nice, clean court now. No riffraff. And
Harry would know. And Harry would know all the, you know, the card shufflers, you know, that do the 3-card money and stuff. And he's like, "What are you doing here?" And he goes, "I got caught again, Harry. Oh, how you doing? Wife good? Yeah, okay. $50 fine. Great seeing you. Next case." You know.
Happy Days is another one that needs. Oh, I'm sorry, Kenny.
No, that's okay. I was done.
No, Happy Days is another one that they never finished. It's like Beverly Hillbillies. They never finished releasing the seasons on DVD. There's only like half. If I'm correct, I think me and Kenny talked about that one time.
Yeah. And see, instead of them putting out like the whole set at once, they wanted to just put out little sets at a time, and then they lost the license to it or something, and then they can't put the rest out or something.
Yeah.
Didn't make any sense.
Hey,
Yeah.
question while I am thinking about this. We're having a Friday the 13th next month in September. Do you guys want to try to do a special show for that day? Or would you rather just keep?
Well, we can. Yeah.
Because I was just thinking, that they're rare having an actual Friday the 13th. So I
Is
was
it
just
going to be in
wanting to see if maybe
October
you
or
guys would like to
September?
do a special show or something.
Oh, no. Never mind. I forgot. The month hadn't changed over yet. I'm sorry, Katie. I didn't mean to talk over you.
Oh, no, you're good.
Oh, I was saying, is it October or September? I thought, oh, yeah, it's not September yet. So it's in September.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
September
September.
13th. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can do that for sure. If that's all right with everybody else. Sorry, I spoke really quickly on that, but
yeah.
If you want to, come up with some kind of theme and things that we can talk about, that'd be great.
Okay. Do you guys want to think about it, or you guys want to?
Obviously, it'll be Friday 13th theme, but
I was going to say, yeah. Do you want to do it like actual Friday the 13th, Jason, or just do horror themed, or?
Do you want to do it on the 13th, or do you want to do on the normal night?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like, do it on actual Friday the 13th, because in a lot of like horror dedicated people, I call it kind of like our Valentine's Day. Like we treat it like a horror dedicated day. It's not always just Jason Voorhees Friday the 13th. So that's why I was asking, like, do we want to do it just solely based off the Friday the 13th movies, or just horror related, or even something else, But yeah, I was talking about doing it on that actual Friday.
Yeah, we can talk about it in upcoming, but both, whatever, horror and Friday.
Either way, that's cool.
Okay, just to make it just that one day, just for that special event, because it's because those are rare, like I said. So that's why I was
horror
asking.
stuff and just do rom-coms.
Yeah,
we could.
I was teasing you.
Yeah, no, that's no problem. Yeah,
that's a good idea, Katie.
Yeah. That's good. I think there's like other movies too that don't have Friday. It's not Friday the 13th, obviously, but is about Friday the 13th. I'm pretty sure. I have to look into it.
Yeah, we can look into it.
Yeah,
because there's plenty of ones that are like Halloween themed that aren't just Halloween Michael Myers ones, but I don't know like there's one called Saturday the 14th.
Oh yeah,
fun of be like Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
So, but actual ones that are off of Friday the 13th, other than Jason Voorhees ones, I'm not sure about. So that'll be something to look into.
Yeah. I've been wanting to rewatch those anyways. I got an older collection, like with 8 of them on there. It's not that big, nice Shout Factory box, but it's a little. I've been wanting to rewatch that and the Nightmare on Elm Street movies.
Yeah, no, me too, actually, because it's been a while. Because, of course, it's like the first one of each of those I've seen multiple times, but the rest of them, not quite so much. So,
yeah, it's been a while since I've seen them. Oh, yeah, Dennis the Menace. I actually watched that too back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah. I ended up finding all 4 seasons. I'm a stickler for wanting the whole series of DVD or of TV shows. I don't know why, but I'm weird about that. It doesn't feel complete if I don't have the whole series.
Yeah, I'm like that too, man. It's just I guess the collector, and me. It's like I want to have the whole little group, watch them all.
Yeah. I don't. My TV stuff's on this side, so it's blocked by my desk and my computer monitor. So it's hard for me to make a video on it, and I don't know how to do it exactly. One of these days, I'll have a better shelving system, hopefully, and be able to show it off more thoroughly and have them better organized, alphabetical order and stuff like that. But I just got so much TV. It's one of the biggest things I collect for sure. I just got crazy stuff. Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
This whole shelf down here is all British stuff.
Oh, wow.
Except I just realized the other day that I haven't moved it yet, but mic stands in the way.
It's like if you had to insure your video collection, how much would it be worth, you think?
Yeah, how much do you have in your collection, would you say?
Over 5,000 pieces. But I don't know. With TV and movies, it's over 5,000.
Yeah.
I quit scanning stuff a while ago, so
Yeah.
on my phone. So
yeah, I got two.
I'm over 5,000 probably.
Yeah, I need to wait. I need to skim through my collection and lighten the load up a little bit because I got like doubles of stuff and better editions, and I should just.
Believe it or not, I'm walking on it.
Yeah, I think I'm probably around 8,000.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Wow. Because I was gonna say I got maybe 4,000. That includes like box sets and movies and stuff.
Yeah, that's for like everything, not separating anything. That's for my steelbooks, my box sets, DVDs, Blu-rays, 4Ks, like everything.
Yeah.
And this is just guesstimating. What I have scanned in my app right now is about 3,000 and something, but that's of course not everything. That's just what I have scanned as of now. So honestly, it could be more, it could be less. I'm just guesstimating. So.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd have to have a list of something they keep up.
Yeah, I used to have everything actually written down. And I think I was around 5,000 and something. But that wasn't including any of my Blu-rays or my box sets. That was solely just DVDs. So even then I was higher than 5,000 something. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But now I'm trying to reorganize everything because I used to keep everything in binders. I never actually had anything like on display, but now I'm wanting to change things up, especially since I started collecting steelbooks. Like, since I spend so much money on those, I really want to display those. And since I love my horror movies so much, I really want to be able to display those as well. Like, those are going to be the two main things I have on display. And then everything else, I've been doing like this, having the artwork just in a little plastic sleeve with the disc in there. So that way I have it all together, but it's just very slim. So that way, you know, it's still very easy to find.
Yeah.
And everything. And I got it all right here. So in case I want to do like collection videos of certain actors or a certain company or whatever, it's all right there. Or true stories, which is what these all right here are true story ones, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah. And I can keep them very organized and stuff, but it's just they won't take up so much room. Because of course, what I surround myself with, if you can't always tell with me, is horror. You know, I'm Halloween is my lifestyle, so that's what I want on full display always is going to be my horror stuff, and then of course my steelbooks because I'm also obsessed with those. So that's just, I think, the best way to do it for me personally. So
and Serial at Midnight, that guy, he posted something on Instagram once that they make like a slim case like that he was trying out. I don't know if he actually ever used them or not. I'm afraid it would cost so much money to buy a lot of that stuff. I like the idea you're using. I like that. It would save a lot of space.
Oh
yeah. The plastic sleeves for 500 of them is about $20.
That's nice.
And then for,
I used to have a bunch of those just like those, about like those. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are those the double-sided? Are those double-sided? Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a bunch in storage I used, but I don't know if I'll do that. But it's just It would save so much space. So
Yeah, because I
Problem.
also
Yeah.
I don't really have the strength to break one out right now because they do end up heavy. I mean, they won't be so heavy once I actually get them put in my entertainment center on where my TV is and everything. Right now, they're just on my bed because everything is still, a lot of everything is still in boxes because I still need to continue doing this. Like I only have, most of the stuff I have scanned is in this form right here. But I still have so much of my collection is just sitting in boxes right now. So, because, you know, I also use the sleeves for the movies that I'm keeping to protect them because I have cats and stuff. So I want to make sure that the artwork isn't just sitting by itself and the cats get into it, you know, so I want to protect that too. But these, for 600 of these, I'm getting the black ones now. I've looked around a couple on Amazon, but I found 600 of these black ones for like $23.
That's
so
cool.
I mean, for 500 to get both of these is about $40 or $45 with free shipping on Amazon.
Is that what those are? Those sleeves are they? Is that what those are made for? That particular media?
They're what?
The plastic, the sleeves. Is that what they're made for? Is that media?
Yeah. These are made for the discs. Yeah. See, because I have them. I have them folded so you can see the spine.
Yeah.
And then like this, and these are the same ones that I have holding. Like the actual, like this is a movie. It's not open. It's not in a.
Yeah.
This is the one that was just holding it. And this one has a slipcase. Oop.
Okay.
And these ones too actually fit snapper cases too. The ones that I buy, I can send you the link to it if you want. Some of them don't. I've purchased ones in the past, but see, it fits it with the slipcase.
Yeah.
And then you just fold it over, and there you go.
Yeah.
So they fit with or without the case.
Nice.
And you'll still have room. So I don't know who, it wasn't Serial at Midnight. I know who you're talking about. It wasn't him. It was somebody else who showed me this. And I was like, oh my God, this is perfect because this way I can keep the artwork. I can keep the slip if it has a slip and everything. Because that was like my biggest thing is when you have a collection like this and you want to show it off or not show it off, but share it with people. You need the artwork because nobody just wants to look at the disc, because when you're showing or sharing your collection, you're not showing the disc ever. You're always showing this.
Yeah.
This is, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, this is perfect.
I had mine just in disc form at one time. I just had them all in the disc and I put all my boxes up. And then I went to the folders. I found these big, gigantic folders they were selling on Amazon that held like 500 each or something.
Yep,
and I had a bunch of them. Wasted a bunch of money on that.
Yep, that's exactly what I had all of my discs in since I started collecting when I was 16. I call them binders, folders. Yeah, they're So
I brought that picture out that I think it's supposed to be like a book. Do you guys remember his name?
Oh yeah, Uncle Traveling Matt. Traveling Matt.
Yeah.
I used to love watching that.
You get that reference, don't you? Traveling Matt.
Traveling Matt.
It's a movie reference. It's a traveling. Do you know what a traveling mat was? Don't you? It's like in the old days they used to, if they had something moving in the background like clouds, or they had something moving in the background. It was called a traveling mat. It's like they were actually, it's like physically moving in the background. It was called a traveling mat. A traveling mat. So I don't know if that's where that I'm pretty sure that's probably where that reference is.
Yeah. I that's kind of clever. Funny. Yeah. Yeah, I got like the Fraggle Rock. That's those three box sets of like DVDs that came out in the early 2000s, mid 2000s.
Yeah, this set is weird because it comes just like this. There's no outer box, but that thing I just showed you, it just sets in here.
Wonka.
There's nowhere to put it at. It's weird. But it didn't come with the outer shell. It's the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
The full series on Blu-ray.
Yeah, it looks like it would have like a sliding box or something. To slide it
Yeah,
into,
it's strange. This is how it came though.
Yeah.
Still a nice set though. Real nice.
Oh yeah, yeah. I have it all on one set like that.
Love this show. Deserved more than one season.
Yeah,
Amazing
I never did.
show.
I never did get into that. I never did catch it.
Really good. They had the movie Serenity that came out.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Sorry.
This was a great series.
I had Farscape.
Yeah. It sucks. I bought Farscape thinking I was buying a box set, but they just came for some reason. I don't know if I got gypped or what, but it didn't come with the outer box. It's just the 4 individual Blu-ray cases.
I think so.
I didn't inquire into it. I think that's what I bought, but it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Jump over here.
But it's just, I don't know. I don't know why I enjoy collecting television, because you can get kind of weird about it. I find out stuff on the internet all the time, different shows that I kind of remember.
Turn your button. Thank you.
Yeah.
But
a lot of those TV collections are really cool though. They're all some of them are really individual, like really cool. Like they're different and they stand out, so they're really collectible.
Yeah. I've been watching just the past few days. I found this channel where a guy, he goes back and he compiles like from each. So far, all I've watched is a few years in the 90s, but he compiles TV shows that didn't make it. The shows that only aired like a few episodes or only came on for one season, but basically the shows that that were made that didn't make it. So it's pretty cool because I can briefly remember that stuff, some of the stuff coming on.
Yeah. I guess I didn't realize I watched so many cartoons and shows when I was little, and still had time to go outside and just on the bike all day playing or something, and I still had.
Yeah. We back in the day, you kind of had to manage that stuff back and forth. You could, we still played outside, when we were kids. These kids now, I don't know what they do. I'm sure some kids still play outside, but
they're on their phones all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really sad. Like, I'm so glappy. What the hell? Happy. I grew up when I did because, played outside, had friends, went to the park, rode bikes, and it's just like, what the hell do kids do nowadays? Like you never see them outside, rarely. It's just so sad to think about.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
There's that episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where they're talking about kids for some reason, and they said, what do these kids do? All these kids do today is bang each other and smoke meth.
That show's crazy.
Oh, God. Is that your dog, John, or whose dog is that?
No.
That's my dog. I've been trying to mute it when he sees the cat. Every time the cat walks by, it's like, would you stop? It's the cat that lives here.
My cat, or you have a cat too?
I have a cat too. Every time he walks by my dog, he just he goes crazy and stuff. Like,
I picked this up this week. It sounded really interesting. It's called The Smallest Show on Earth. It's got Peter Sellers. It came out in like 58, I believe, 1958.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't know a lot about it. Somebody was talking about it on another show that I watched, but this is like, I believe it's a burn to disc. It's very like the artwork's even really generic. I have a feeling that the transfer is going to be like VHS,
Mhm.
but
I
it
don't know.
sounds interesting.
Sometimes
says-
I've found something like that and they look good. You know, the
Yeah.
box might look crappy, but the video actually looks good.
But the synopsis on the back says a young couple inherit a, excuse me, my light's not real good in here. A young couple inherit a debt-ridden old movie theater, appropriately nicknamed the Flea Pit, and the three eccentric senior citizens who work there. And it looks like from the back, you might barely be able to see, but I think it's Peter Sellers. He's one of the playing an older man
Mhm.
there. Older
Yeah.
gentleman. So it sounds like it'd be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Peter Sellers.
Also picked up this Hulk Hogan
Okay.
movie collection.
Oh,
Has
wow.
No Holds Barred, which I think I have No Holds Barred on Blu-ray, but I got it because of Suburban Commando and Mr. Nanny
Where'd you
Oh,
get
yeah.
that at?
off of Amazon. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll check that one out.
I don't think it wasn't very expensive. I think it was only like $10 or something. I think.
I will definitely have to check that out because I love No Holds Barred because I'm a big
Yeah.
wrestling fan and I was obsessed with that movie when it came out.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah,
not a bad movie. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
No, No Holds Barred is the best movie of those three, but I bought it because like I said, I think I have No Holds Barred. I believe they released it on Blu-ray. I'm pretty sure I have it on Blu-ray. But the other two, I just wanted to kind of pick them up before those go out of print because I doubt they'll ever get a Blu-ray transfer.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about Mr. Nanny or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. No Holds Barred this. Yeah, that's the best one on there. But I forgot about that one. Like, I didn't.
Yeah.
I always just thought he made like one movie or two movies or something.
I picked that up as well. That 4K, Can't Hardly Wait.
Oh, I love that movie when I was.
Yeah.
Ow! God, God,
Yeah.
please go.
Yeah, those crazy teen
Yeah.
movies. Those are really
Yep.
good for a moment.
Jennifer
I-
Huge Tits.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
she
what's
was-
that? God, I have that other movie. Me and Kenny were talking about it a while back. What was that? I was talking about that other Jennifer Love Hewitt movie. It's Jennifer Love Hewitt and Sigourney Weaver. What's the name?
Heartbreakers.
Yeah, that's a good
Oh.
movie,
Exactly.
and she,
I love that movie.
yeah, and she's
Mhm.
real good because she's playing like an adult role in that movie instead of like a teeny bopper kind of. Because she looks really good in that movie, and
Yeah, that was a good movie. Yeah.
I haven't
But
seen Can't
she's
Hardly
good.
Wait in years. I was excited because I was obsessed with the show Dharma and Greg, and I love Jenna Elfman. So
Yeah.
she was in that for like 3 minutes. She basically did the director a favor,
Yeah.
come in.
Yeah, she didn't stay around very long, did she? She wasn't.
No, it's a shame. They gave her like after Dharma and Greg went off the air, they gave her like every bad sitcom, to star in, and it just didn't happen for her. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She had a handful of movies too, but that was about it.
Yeah, I know because I think I went to see every movie that she was in. That's how obsessed I was. And she was in that Grippendorf's Tribe with Richard Dreyfuss, and she was in Keeping the
Remember
Faith with Ed Norton and Ben
Oh, yeah.
Stiller.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good one. Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, I feel like I remember those. I picked this up as well. That that Mexico trilogy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Robert
Yeah.
Rodriguez.
Yeah, I was kind of torn on that one. I actually recently pulled out all those. I have them on like DVD and stuff, like especially Once Upon a Time in Mexico. And then all of a sudden they announced that box set. And I'm just like, Somebody said there's only one 4K on there, though.
Yeah, it is. I didn't know that when I ordered it. I didn't, I just pre-ordered. I seen where it came out, so I just went and pre-ordered it.
Mm-hmm.
So I got it, and Desperado's the only one in 4K. The other two are just 4K transfer Blu-ray. I'm like,
that's
I like what the, I was like, what
that's
the hell?
cheap.
I still haven't seen any of those ones, even though I think it's
Yeah.
Once Upon a Time in Mexico is the one with Johnny Depp.
Mm-hmm.
I still haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's pretty good.
just watched Crybaby, which again is Johnny Depp,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
I think I went over that review actually in my last video, maybe, I don't remember, but I didn't actually like it all that much, but it's probably because I know it's satire, it's like making fun of those movies from what, the 80s or the early 90s or whatever.
Like the 50s and stuff.
It's John Waters.
Yeah. Yeah, like when Grease came out and stuff. But I get that, but I don't know. It was such a weird movie. So I think I'm going to need to watch it a couple of times to really like get it and like it, which I've had to do that with a couple of movies. And the more I watch it, the more I like it. So I am going to give it another shot. But damn, that movie was so fucking weird. Like,
it's John Waters.
Really
you familiar with John Waters?
Yeah, no. I mean, I know Pink Flamingos. I know the history of it. And
they get weirder than that one for sure. That's more straightforward for John Waters. Crybaby.
Crybaby, yeah, that's probably
yeah.
Well,
I've never seen Pink Flamingo though, or what else has he done? What other ones?
Serial Mom is pretty normal.
Yeah.
Okay,
I guess
Serial. I love Serial Mom. That is hilarious to me. But it's because probably I saw it when it came out, so it was, you know, that could have something to do with it too. Is the fact of that it's a product of the time, maybe. So I don't know, but I love Serial Mom. I've always loved it.
Yeah, I don't know. Crybaby's a lot of fun. I guess the more you watch it, it doesn't take itself too serious, and that's what's kind of funny about it. You know,
that's what I'm thinking, is that maybe I just wasn't exactly ready for what it was, but you know, like I said, I do want to watch it, you know, again and everything, and maybe it was just a shock because I didn't know that it was going to be what it was. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. So, and I do want to watch Pink Flamingos. Everything I've heard about it makes it sound insane, but you know, I'm up for whatever. Like, you know, like I didn't hate it. I didn't think it was so outlandish that like, what the fuck? It wasn't like that. It was
I'm not criticizing your opinion. That's a pretty typical opinion for John Waters movies. Yeah. Because he's kind of you love or hate kind of a director.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think directors can have hits and misses, you know, like it's not that, just like even with Tim Burton, you know, like just because I love Nightmare and I love Beetlejuice and Edward Scissorhands, Sweeney Todd and Sleepy Hollow and everything, it doesn't mean that I have to love every single thing he puts out. Like I'm not gonna, you know, I'm still gonna have my opinions no matter what. I mean, I have loved everything that I've seen from him, but like Pee Wee Herman, I still haven't seen his first ever movie yet.
Oh man, that's so good.
Yeah, that's my favorite Tim Burton movie still.
It's a lot of people's, I know. But I really don't know if I'm gonna like it or not, just because I've never really gotten drawn to that character. Can you?
Yeah, John's got the shirt.
Oh. Yep.
That's a cool shirt.
I saw that on Groove. They have the Pee Wee Herman's the series thing on Blu-ray, Pee Wee's Playhouse.
Yeah, I'd like
series
to get
or whatever, but it was like $79 though. Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah. I never did really watch it that much.
These are a couple early John Waters movies: Female Trouble with Divine. That's a pretty crazy one, and Multiple Maniacs. That's another one with Divine.
Oh yeah.
He worked with Divine. She was a transvestite.
Okay.
He was a welder by trade and a transvestite actor as well. It was
interesting. Nothing wrong with that. I mean,
yeah, I think Criterion put out Polyester too. I think that was his other movie. Which has got a pretty cool cover, but I never did get any of those.
I remember there were really big renters at the video store.
Mhm.
I never got it.
I never did either. It was just too out there for me sometimes.
Yeah, it's just like I did like Hairspray. He did Hairspray. I thought that was really good. But
yeah, I forgot about that.
I just it's like, hey, to each his own. I just don't.
Yeah.
I didn't get it.
Yeah, it's too much sometimes.
Pink Flamingos it's kind of hard to get through. Like Multiple Maniacs, those first two, I can watch them. They're crazy and they're kind of fast paced, just madness,
Mm-hmm.
But Pink Flamingos I don't know it. I'm not going to say it, but it's got a couple of scenes of it's this kind of filthy, grimy move. I don't know how to explain it. It's just
it was trying to be shocking most of the time anyway.
Yeah,
in these movies. I think Criterion put out Polyester too, John. I think at some point.
Yeah, I have it. Polyester is not that bad. I think Polyester's pretty. It's kind of it's more straightforward for John Waters too.
Yeah, I think
now
so.
it came on the heels of those two movies I just showed you. I have it somewheres over there, but I can't remember. And then I think after Polyester, what was Polyester or Pink Flamingos first? Was Pink Flamingos before? Was it after those two and then Polyester?
No, I think that came after. I think Pink Flamingos was like one of his first movies or something.
Okay. Yeah, well, those two I think are his first two, but then Pink Flamingos and then Polyester and then
I think there's like Hairspray or something like that.
Yeah.
And then Crybaby, and I think that's how it is.
Yeah.
For some reason, I can remember a chronological order sometime of like movies and stuff.
Now, some of his movies he made in the 90s were kind of good. Cecil B. Demented was good. And Pecker was another one that was kind of a big success. That was good.
That sounds familiar, but...
Yeah, it has...
Furlong.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, Kenny. It has Edward Furlong in those movies.
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say Macaulay Culkin at first.
Yeah.
But no, I guess Edward Furlong. Which I've always loved him.
Hey, Jim.
Hey, Jim.
Hey, Jim.
Hi.
It's Jim.
But yeah, he's you gotta take it with a grain of salt. I like weird stuff, but even some of that stuff can go too far, But I can understand it. It's just I appreciate, I guess, avant-garde movies. I enjoy that genre sometimes, but sometimes it just gets so weird that it's like it's just insane. Goes too far, and it's not enjoyable when it gets to a certain point. That's how I felt a little bit about Pink Flamingos. It goes, okay, it's some men wagging their buttholes around on screen. I was like, that's a little bit too far.
Yeah, well, it's like early David Lynch and stuff.
Yeah,
it's kind of out there and stuff.
Yeah,
like so I'm good with weird, with disturbing, with whatever point you're gonna make with whatever, but it's gotta fit the story. Like, don't just do it to shock people just to shock people. Like, there should be a point behind whatever you're doing, because otherwise, why?
Yeah.
Like, just to shock people, like, that's stupid. There is no point to that if it doesn't fit in with whatever story you're trying to tell. So, I mean,
yeah. Oh, Jim says something about Mandy. Yeah, that was way out there, man.
Yeah, but I really like Mandy though.
I did too. I really like Mandy as well.
It's cool. It has this awesome look to it and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I need to watch that again.
So
I mean, it's cool. It's like one of those movies you can watch a bunch of times and just see different stuff and catch different things about it.
I think a lot of that. I think John Waters was very inspired by a lot of the exploitation movies in the 70s.
Yeah.
It's got that kind of shock style of it.
Kind of like Andy Warhol and
shocking
theater.
Yeah. he definitely got more mainstream, which I think actually made his movies a little bit better. You usually don't say that a lot about people when they kind of make a little bit of money and start making more mainstream movies. But I think it kind of helped him. I think it kind of calmed and made him a more honest filmmaker when he got to that point of making, like I was saying, got up to making Serial Mom and Crybaby. Crybaby's a little bit out there, but it's definitely more tame than those early movies.
Oh,
But he always had it in him because Hairspray's not that out there. It's kind of a more straightforward movie for him.
yeah.
So
I mean, they even remade it, made a musical and everything out of it.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, was the original not a musical?
No.
No, I don't think so.
I haven't seen either one of them, so I didn't know that. I thought it was a musical.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Polyester has the scratch and sniff cards. Yeah, that was that one. I was trying to think of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think didn't they have them in the theaters?
Mm-hmm.
Back in the theaters, yeah. Don't work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he kind of he took a note from not Roger Corman, but William Castle, with the shocking seat and just gimmicks to get people in there to a certain degree, with the scratch and sniff cards, and he had something else for some other movies and stuff like that. Get people in there to interactive movie making, I guess you could say.
Yeah, there was one artist, I'm not a huge art person or whatever, movies is my thing. But there was this one artist who did, I think, one of the most shocking but also very impactful things ever. I don't remember her name, but I think she was naked or whatever. This was in the 70s or something like that. I don't remember. But anyway, she stood naked and she surrounded herself with all kinds of weapons and stuff. And she basically said, do whatever you want to me. I'm not going to stop you. So she had feathers. She had markers. But then she had knives and she had a gun with a bullet in it. And she said, you can do whatever you want to me. She literally stood there still and she vowed not to move. She was so dedicated to this that she did not move. And I think it was for, I don't remember. It was for a few hours or a whole day or whatever. So people would come up, at first start tickling her and then drawing on her. But then, of course, people started testing to see how real this was. And they would start getting more aggressive, touching her breasts, and then grabbing a knife and slightly cutting her to see if she would move or not, and she never moved. And then it got to a point where someone, I think, really picked up the gun and pointed it at her to see if she would move or if she would flinch or if she would do anything. She didn't move. And there was a gang of people there, starting to root on shooter. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, it got to the point where someone finally said stop. But if it wasn't, it was like a gang mentality that she was really willing to die for this experiment, for this art project or whatever. But finally I don't remember if it was one of the people who ran the studio or whatever, or if it was a woman finally saying no, stop, and then they finally listened and then it ended. But it's just that's
the odorama.
That's just how far it's that was shocking, but it was for a purpose to see how far society is willing to go. It's Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah.
You can look the video up online too. I like I said, I don't remember what her name is, but I think if you just look up art something living art or artist who almost got shot for her project, something like that, and you can find it.
I've heard of that before.
Disturbing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
People
it
do
sounds
crazy
familiar.
things with art in the name of art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, that was, like I said, that was shocking, but for a purpose. So, but if you do shocking just for shocking purpose, it's like, what is the point in that? Oh my gosh, dude. Can we please stop jumping?
Yeah, it's crazy.
But that is just insane. She was literally willing to die for this, I mean, art, but also like experiment. Like, imagine if someone really pulled the trigger.
Like a social experiment, yeah.
Like, Jesus, I just
Mhm.
really can't believe how
Yeah.
willing people are to go from first just tickling her, and then just a few hours later, someone is really about to pull the trigger on her.
Yeah.
I guess it'd be different if she had a blank or something in the gun, just to see who would actually do that. But it wouldn't really hurt anybody. It would just be a blank. You know, it would be a fire, but not.
Yeah, I think it was a real bullet though. Like, I think that's why that's why she did this, because if it was a blank, then this wouldn't have meant anything, because then she knew that she wouldn't have died, you know, and that kind of would have invalidated, at least I think, if I'm remembering this story correctly, she really needed to actually put her life on the line for this to be her art. Because she's done stuff like this multiple times. This is the specific one that I really remember, but she's done other things that put her life on the line in the name of art. Because she's what do they call it? Where they
performance art.
Yes, thank you.
Art.
Yeah. But she's done other stuff where she's gone like days or something without eating when because she's also over, like, I think in England, or she's over the pond somewhere, where they were going through something, and so she went like days without eating or something. I don't remember. Like I said, this is the one that really stuck out to me. That's why this is the one that's like ingrained in my brain. But she's done other stuff too.
Well, it's like those kids who were the climate change kids who were gluing their hands to the blacktop and stuff, and they were using like that industrial glue, and they couldn't get it off. It wouldn't come off, so they had to break the asphalt up and take them to the hospital, and they probably end up with severe injuries because of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
And they also had those one people they were protesting the same thing for some reason, tying the environment into why, and they were throwing like tomato soup and stuff on like priceless artwork.
Oh yeah,
I heard about that. That was last summer, I believe, when all that was happening.
Yeah, that was.
And they were gluing their hands to the walls and things like that in the art museums for some reason. I guess because it represented like rich people or something. I guess I don't know what it was. Oh, I think they were doing it on oil painting. So it was oil painting. So they had to. They wanted to get rid of oil companies. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they ruined it. So.
But all the paintings were protected with glass. They all have like glass covers over them, so they weren't hurting anything. I believe. I don't think they ruined anything.
Oh. Okay.
I'm not being correct, Mike. Some of them might not have been protected, but
yeah, I heard about it, but I didn't know for sure if they did ruin it or if they just.
We live in crazy times. I've just accepted the fact that I just kind of want to ride this freak show to the end, you know, ride this freak show into oblivion. Yeah.
Yeah. What was the thing that Jim Morrison said? I'm gonna something until the shit house goes up in flames or something. What was it he said?
I can't remember.
Oh, I'm gonna get my like rocks off until the shit house goes up in flames or something like that.
All I know is that people are strange.
Yeah.
That's all I can remember right now. Like, people are strange until I'm a stranger, something like that.
Yeah. It's Jim Morrison. He was something. He was different.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is so dangerous though, because Like the videos that I've seen, especially of these protesters, you never know how a person is going to react. Like most of these protesters, they're peaceful, you know, they're blocking traffic, which is illegal, which is also crazy because it doesn't seem like they're actually being arrested for this a lot of the time, or at least it's taking a long fucking time for them to get arrested. But the people who they're blocking traffic of or whatever, you don't know how they're going to react. And it's like these people are trying to go to work, or they could be trying to go to the hospital, or they could just be having anger issues. And it's like you are taking the hugest risk doing this, because this is not a peaceful protest like they think it is, because you are costing people their livelihood by trying to block them from work, from whatever, you know, and that is very dangerous. So, you know, I just don't get that part of it. It's like, why would you risk that for something like this? Like, this is not peaceful because it's illegal.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I just don't get it.
Yeah. Well, they were doing it on interstates. They were blocking interstates.
Yeah.
On, like, you know, high speed areas. Luckily, a bunch of people didn't get mowed down.
Yeah, exactly.
Just by accident, not even on purpose by the drivers, just accident, you know.
Yeah, that too, because it's just scary, and a lot of these people seem to be kids too, because you know, a lot of the younger generation or whatever seem to be all eco-friendly and stuff, so it looks like there are a lot of like college kids and stuff, and what a shame to lose your life that way. Like you haven't even been able to grow up and figure out your life and stuff, and seems kind of like a waste. Like, figure out a different way to protest that isn't so dangerous and everything, you know, like just don't throw your life away over something like that. Like, figure out a different way to get your point across.
Yeah.
Even though it may not change anything at the same time, you know.
Yeah, because a lot of it doesn't. Like, look at all the BLM riots and all that fucking disaster that happened. And has anything changed? You know, there were peaceful protests even then, and then it turned into these riots and all the buildings burning, all the disaster that happened with that, and still, has anything changed?
Like how it was Black Lives Matter, but they burned down they burned down more black businesses, destroyed, and I think it's funny how, like, unfortunately, it's unfortunate, but like whenever like they protest, they seem to burn their own communities down.
Yeah. No, that's a whole nother thing. Yeah, because at first I like with a lot of things I thought a lot of wrong ways, because you know at first I was on that side, but then things got released and everything, the whole George Floyd thing and everything, and that was a mess. So, and same thing with the whole COVID and everything thing, and with the vaccine and everything. It's just like so much misinformation was spread, and people, you know, at first just followed, of course, because there was, again, just so much misinformation spread, and just, so it's like, just, you can't just blindly follow the news, you know, you gotta really research stuff, you gotta follow your gut, and just think for yourself. So
but they told you not to, though, remember? Mainstream media said you're not supposed to do your own research.
And you're still, so many people still don't even say the word COVID. Like they say the panini, or I mean, it's like you can't even say COVID. Like that is what it's called, and you can't even say what it's called
on YouTube, especially if you're monetized
exactly.
on here.
It's like, are you kidding me?
They've lightened up a little bit about it, but I know we're getting off movie topic here, but that's fine.
Sorry, we're not talking about movies or anything.
But well, we're about finished here in just a little bit anyway, so we can talk. But the thing going on right now, they're coming out with a new COVID vaccine. Well, the COVID vaccine that they're releasing right now, it doesn't even fight the strain that's out. And even on the CDC, on the CDC website, the strain, it says right now the strain that's out's not even that, it's not even dangerous. It says that on the CDC. It says it doesn't even cause any major harm. So they're still wanting people to go out and get a vaccine. That's,
yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see one day, like, because we don't know, like, how's that everybody that got shots, you know. I mean, it's good and bad. You know, it's good and bad. You know, help right now, but what's the long term?
Exactly. Yeah. I've never gotten it. I've never gotten COVID either. I've never gotten the vaccine, and I've never been sick. So.
I unfortunately did get the Johnson and Johnson, because that's when I was first I got on the kidney transplant list, and they kind of, I don't know if I necessarily had to get it, but they kind of hinted that if it was one of those deals, like you get it and get on the transplant list, or don't and not. So it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of situation. So I just got the Johnson and Johnson. Literally a week after I got the Johnson and Johnson, they started saying, "Oh, people are having blood clots from it." Now, I don't know, because I've never got COVID after getting it, and I never had any side effects. And I've always, and I don't think it's true, but I either got a placebo, or because a bunch of people got placebos at the beginning. You could look up the batch numbers, and people were getting placebos and not even getting the real thing. Or the Johnson and Johnson may have actually, the first batches may have been actually effective, so they had to get rid of it. So they had to figure out a way to get rid of it, because the Johnson and Johnson was different. It wasn't like the 2 injection. What was it? But it was Johnson and Johnson used
Mindura
the real,
or something.
Yeah, it
The
was.
other one?
That was with an M.
Minerva.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Because that's what I got. The first one I was fine. Second one, I remember coming in. My next door neighbor took me to get it because he was getting his done too, the same day. And I came in, and my mom was laying in her bed. And she goes, "You all right?" And all of a sudden, everything started spinning, and I started getting like the sweats, like really bad. And I literally stayed in I slept on my chair because I was afraid to get up. I couldn't get up. Like everything was starting to spin around. And I literally was in bed for like my chair for 2 days. The only time I got up was to go to the bathroom.
Oh, wow.
I was really sick from that. Mom goes, "I think you should go to the hospital." I said, "For what?" Just as and apparently it was, she had called her doctor, and the doctor said, "What did he have?" And it was like the Minerva one, because I like gave her the numbers and everything like that, and she goes, "Oh yeah, people are getting sick from that." I don't think we were gone like 15 minutes. I had just came in, and everything just started spinning around. I just remember that, and I sat in my chair and I just passed out.
Now my mom and dad, they both, and my grandmother both, they were double boosted with the Moderna, and probably triple, or they've been triple boosted. They got all the boosters and everything, and they watch. I can't stand any mainstream media, but they watch Fox News all the time and hear them talk about the bad stuff, but they still went and done it. But they didn't have any problems. I think it targeted certain people. I don't know how it targeted certain people, but certain people with certain type of weaknesses, it targeted for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
it's really weird. The boosters, I think, was where the worst part of it was in.
Yeah.
That's where whatever was in the boosters is when people started dropping dead and having, 18-year-olds that played football or played sports were dropping dead of heart attacks, in peak physical condition,
Yeah, I don't know.
Professional football player, that one football player that had that issue. And then he came out and said, "Oh, no, it wasn't." But
I don't know. It's weird.
It's crazy.
My wife and 2 boys, they both got it, or she got it, and the 2 boys got it, and I didn't get it. And it's like, how could we all be in the same house and not transmit it? But I never did get it. So I got boosters and I got all the shots. And so
well, one reason I didn't get it either. I was in a situation where I couldn't, but I didn't really try to protect myself. Even being on dialysis, I wore a mask a little bit at the beginning, but I thought it was kind of stupid after a while, but I didn't really protect myself, but I never did get it. One thing I did do a lot before is I took a lot of vitamin D, and a lot of people are really deficient on vitamin D, and that was that was one of the things that they pushed a lot. The actual doctors that would speak the truth about it would say you need to have a lot of vitamin D and stuff, and all that. Yeah, that was really weird.
Yeah, that don't make any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, with me, I've never liked the idea of even getting the flu shot, just because it's not actually like the zombie apocalypse that I thought was happening, but it was something like that. Like I Am Legend, where everybody got this one specific shot and it turned out bad. I didn't think there was enough research into it. And I thought, nobody knows what the long-term effects are going to be. Whatever that turns out to be, not the actual zombie apocalypse, but I just said the zombie apocalypse because that was the only example I could say that something could go wrong. And I do not trust the government. I do not trust that something could not happen by taking this shot just because the government is saying that this is what we all need. I just didn't trust it. So I never take the flu shot, and I did not trust this. So I was like, no, I'm not going to take it. They cannot force me to take it, and I'm not getting sick, and just, no, I'm not comfortable with that. So I just never took it. And like I said, I never got sick. I used to get sick all the time too. Like I've gotten pneumonia before. I've gotten bronchitis a lot. And I don't know what has happened with my body, but I think all the medication that I've taken over the past 10 years with my diabetes and high blood pressure diagnosis, along with other stuff too, that somehow it's built up my immune system that I literally have only been sick one time in the past 10 years. And I think that was because of all the stress I had on one of my trips back home to California and everything, that I think it was stress that actually made me sick, not anything else. And then I don't get sick anymore. So that's another reason why I just thought too that I really don't have much to worry about. So, but either which way, I still never would have gotten the vaccine because I just never trusted it. And I'm glad that I never did too, because of all of the side effects, all of the complications, all the CDC guy who was pushing it on, or whatever his name was.
Fauci, Dr. Fauci.
Yeah, that guy. Coming out being the huge liar asshole guy. And it's just like, I'm so happy. Like I trusted my gut, knowing that there's just so much we cannot trust. So
I like the Dr. Fauci. He's he got the vaccine, and he's like, it's sextuple boosted 6 times. He got boosted 6 times and had COVID 3 fucking times. So it really protects you from getting
I don't think anybody knew what to do. I think nobody had answers for a while, and I don't know. I think they were just shooting in the dark for a while and see what would work.
Well, they knew good and well those vaccines were, because they've been trying to make a vaccine for that particular thing for years and never been able to. Then they all of a sudden were able to do it. All of a sudden, I just don't.
Yeah, it was like it was way too fast. Like I don't care how many people you have working on it. Something like this on this scale, there's no way, because again, it's too big of a thing. And just in 1 year you got it? I don't think so.
Yeah.
That was no.
Well, the drug companies, they could probably cure all kinds of stuff. They probably have the cure, but they wouldn't make any money. They wouldn't make billions of dollars.
I really think there's a cure for cancer, but they're not going to put it out because big pharma is making too much money on all of the slight cures like chemo and all that kind of stuff, you know? Like I really do think there are conspiracy theories that exist like that because everybody just cares about money.
Yeah.
You know, they don't care about people, they don't care about our suffering. All they care about is their money. Like I can go on and on. Like have you guys ever listened to a guy named Ren? He's a rapper singer guy.
Mm-mm.
No, you guys should. He has some really, really interesting songs that just are just amazing songs that go into all this kind of stuff. He's a brilliant. He has got a brilliant mind and a poetic mind.
I've listened to Alex Jones.
Do what? You listen to the what? The Ellen Show?
Alex Jones.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. I was like the Ellen Show.
Well, not just listen to Alex Jones. I've read a lot of books and I've listened to a lot of other people over the years, other than Alex Jones. But yeah, it was just kind of a joke. I've listened to Alex Jones, but I've never heard of him. Yeah,
I can send you guys a video in our chat, and if you guys want to check him out, you can. If not,
you can see
totally fine.
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff out there. The thing about COVID is I'm not 100% sure. It's not. It was a lot of coincidence with that and the way they treated the election with the mail-in ballots, how they pushed all that stuff. There's a lot of coincidence. So did they release it on purpose or was it a legit accident? I don't think it was that particular strain is what I would consider a bioweapon because it's too weak. It didn't really affect people. It didn't affect people. The actual COVID didn't. The cure affected people greatly. That's in lies where the tragedy in this story is in the cure. But with and that's the case with a lot of medications. They're like really bad a lot of times. See, that's the big thing. That's why they don't want RFK Jr. That's why they shut him completely out of the Democratic Party side. Because he wrote a whole book about this. That's his whole thing. He's a little hippy dippy about his politics, but he's right about all that stuff. He wrote all this stuff about the FDA. He's been ahead of like the Children's Defense League for years, and he's been ahead of a lot of environmental cleanup. Legit environmental issues, things that need pollution, things that need to get solved. Like the Hudson River was so polluted that there was a section of it that caught on fire at one time because I think it was like Ford was dumping like paint and stuff into the Hudson River. They would just dump paint. They said if you knew what color they were painting their cars that day because of the color of the water. Yeah. And
stuff used to be horrible.
Yeah. But he was one of the lawyers that went in and helped get all that stuff done. But we could go on all night long about that.
I don't know. I know money is the big factor in a lot of things sometimes, but who knows? Who knows the answers?
That's the real environmental issues to me: industrial pollution, stuff like that.
Yeah, I think
global warming it's bull.
Be torn down and built back up by us, the people who are actually supposed to be running and having a say so in how the country is run. But no, it's always run by the people in power, the people with money. Like, I highly doubt that we are actually the ones who are going to have a say so in if it's Biden or Trump, who win or whoever else is. I'm not really into politics or anything, it's just I have very little knowledge of anything. I just go off of what I see, and it's like we don't actually vote and actually have a say so in anything. It's all run behind the scenes, and we're just the sheep that think that we have any kind of a say so. We're pawns or whatever.
Well, especially with Kamala, because nobody voted for her. They're just installing her essentially. Nobody voted for her. Nobody voted for
woman
her
or whatever. Isn't that what Trump
primaried? She wasn't primaried.
Yeah.
And when she ran for president, she was shut out. I mean, she got destroyed by Tulsi Gabbard. Destroyed her in the debates. and and now everybody just loves her, or supposedly. Who
Oh,
knows how much is propaganda? But
no.
the problem is I want to see a woman president, and I don't care if it's a woman of color. I
Yeah.
don't care, but I want them fucking qualified. I want them to be intelligent and know what they're doing. I don't want another puppet president. You
Yeah, like,
know,
God, how the hell did Biden ever even, what the fuck? All these videos that I've seen of him, he can't even say two coherent words together. He's squatting while he's shitting on stage or whatever. He's falling asleep. Like, how did this happen? We are the laughing stock. He is a fucking laughing stock. Like, how
He's
did this
too old,
happen?
to a certain degree. We need somebody
well,
younger, more
he
in
was showing
touch.
those signs in 2019 when he was running. He was showing those signs in 2020. It's crazy, but you know,
I don't know. It's
unfortunately the the military, it's called the military industrial complex, is taking over because they after World War II they found out during World War II basically because we needed the military had to be ramped up so quick they had to use private industry and so the private industry figured out, hey, war is profitable. It's very profitable. So ever since World War II, we've been basically in a constant war, and pretty much you had Korea, Vietnam,
especially Vietnam,
Vietnam, and then the Gulf Wars, but we were in wars during the 80s too, just like more minor conflicts, but.
Well, and the wars in South America that they didn't talk about too much,
Yeah. Iran Contra.
Central America.
Yeah.
It's just
I don't know. It's crazy.
It's called a war economy, but we're not really a democracy. Well, we never were a democracy, but we were. But it's called more of an oligarchy now. It's upper 1% run everything. The people with money. So it's kind of sad. I think it's how it's always really been. It's just
it really has. Yeah. Even back to the days where the kings and the kings and queens and stuff ruled the
they it's basically that still. It's still a monarchy type system. You got bloodlines, and those bloodlines still rule everything, or there's some connection there. I'm not the person to really explain that stuff, because there's a lot of people very knowledgeable about different subject matters, but I'm very interested in those subjects. So I like weird esoteric things, and that's where it gets into. It kind of gets into kind of creepy realm.
It's worth to listen to it sometimes, because some of it's gobbledygook and some of it's like, wow, I didn't think of it like that before.
Well, you guys ready to call it evening?
Yeah, I think so. I'm thinking about to head to the old bed.
I picked up that too, Mike, this week.
Oh yeah. I was disappointed with that, because I wanted the 1981 version, the original on there somehow. And I don't know. It's like, why did they go with those two, especially the sequel?
It was kind of strange, but
they should have put 81 on there.
There's an older sequel too.
I think so.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. That's why I thought that was the Sam Worthington too.
Yeah, it's both of those. The sequels.
It's both the Sam Worthington movies.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It is. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's talking about the old ones from
the Harry Hamlin one.
Yeah.
I like that Harryhausen stuff.
Yeah.
Stop motion. I don't know. It's just amazing. It's creepier to me in a way.
Yeah, I thought that's kind of what those were. I did look into it, but I thought, well, I'll get it anyways, because those are not bad. But I haven't seen the sequel, believe it or not. I've seen the first one, but I haven't seen.
I haven't either. Yeah, I was just like, man.
I didn't even know
the first one
was a sequel, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah, I watched the remake and it was just like, nah, it's just CGI death, But it's still entertaining. But
it's funny when I saw the original one where it was me and my friends. We were watching it, and I can't remember. I think we may have already seen the remake one, but where it's showing the seagull just hanging in the sky or whatever.
Yeah.
All of us just busted out laughing because it looked so fake, which I understand for the time, and everything, but it just looked so fake, which it was, I guess to us, it wasn't in a good way. I mean, I haven't seen it since then, so I can't say if it was just my naive brain at the time or if it was just because we were in a group setting or what, because I don't know.
Mhm.
But I actually like the remakes. I really think they did a good job. I mean, yeah, I know CGI can be good in certain ways, and
Mhm.
of course, practical, like The Thing, like, oh my God, give me The Thing, the original, over any CGI any day of the week, because practical is so fucking good in that movie that I would hate any CGI over that. But I don't know, just that one scene. I can't remember anything else from that movie as far as the practicals versus the remake with the CGI, but just that one scene of the bird on the string just cracked us up. So I just had to mention. I just thought I could not stop laughing at that. Sorry if that makes anyone mad or offends anybody. Sorry.
Oh no, I need to check out that sequel to that one. I never did watch it.
Yeah,
Mike, you know what? You got to give it a shot. I watched this. I watched Stuart George's channel a lot. Give the Count of Monte Cristo with Richard Chamberlain a watch.
Oh yeah. I think I've seen that. I like those like Three Musketeer movies from back in the 70s too. You know, those ones.
He recommended those too, but I never seen the Count of Monte Cristo before, and that was really really good. It's on Tubi.
Yeah. Well, the one with Leonardo DiCaprio is pretty good too.
Yeah, Man with the Iron Mask.
I was gonna say, is that the one, Man with the Iron Mask? Yes,
Well, no, wait a minute. They did the Count of Monte Cristo, but it wasn't. He wasn't in that. I'm thinking of something else. But yeah, the Man in the Iron Mask is good too. And then they're both good.
And I don't know
I'll check that out.
If this is a man or Three Masked ones, but there's one with Johnny Depp called Don DeMarco. Yeah. I don't know. I think that one is actually a romantic one, so never mind. But it just the DeMarco made me think that maybe it was, but it's been a long time since I've seen it, so I think it's a romantic one though. So never mind.
Yeah, every time I think of that movie, I think of the Bryan Adams song. Have you ever really loved a woman? He was nominated for an Oscar for it. He got an Oscar nomination. Because that used to. I remember when I went to see it in the movies, and it played, and it was like, oh, okay, that's where it's from, because it used to play in our store like on a loop, like every 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It was like so popular, the Bryan Adams song.
Well, he wrote Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves too.
That's what I was thinking of just then. Yeah,
I didn't see it. I didn't see it for like 30 years because of that, and then I watched it finally.
That's the one with Kevin Costner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's good. It's pretty good.
A long time. I haven't seen it probably that many years either, Mike.
You haven't seen that in a long time?
Yeah. I need to look for a copy of it. That's a good one. It's just weird movies like that I don't own.
Yeah. I found one day for like 50 cents and brought it home and watched it. And it was pretty good.
Awesome.
I think
I have it on laser.
Yeah, it's on that. And then Arrow put out a big box set of it and stuff. But I don't want to go after that.
Yeah, I think I have that one in a snapper case, but I haven't watched it yet though.
It's good.
Yeah,
it's entertaining.
It was a good movie when I remember seeing it back in the day, but it's probably since I've been a kid. It's been that long.
Yeah, it came out in 91 or something like that.
Yeah.
All right,
well,
guys.
Everybody, I think I'm gonna head on. Appreciate everybody stopping by. I don't think there's anybody in here now, but we've had quite a few people in and out tonight, so appreciate everybody checking out the show this evening.
Yeah, it's good talking about TV shows.
Yeah, Yeah, thank you guys for talking TV shows with me.
Yeah,
I've been
thank
wanting to
you.
talk to them a little bit. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. But
All right. Well,
yeah.
I'll see you guys. See you, Kenny and
See
Katie
ya.
and John and
See ya.
Take care,
everybody.
everybody.
All right,
Later,
good
guys.
night, guys.
Good night.
See you
Yeah.
guys